Hello and welcome to another SVU live stream. I am Coach Kev, joined today by J-Moff. What's up, J-Moff?
What's up, Kev? How's it going?
Going fantastic. We got a round of 16 match for y'all coming in. It's going to be SVU Knights versus Edinboro College or University. So it's going to be a good one here.
All right. It's Willy Wonka, Michael Yubian, Ainsworth, Saber X, and Honey T-Bone. This is this team that we just streamed on Saturday, was it?
Monday.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
they just brought home the dub on Monday. This is a single elimination bracket, best of 3 though, so you can still drop games, but if you drop the match, you're out.
No pressure, huh?
Yeah, so we got 2 teams still live in this bracket. Oddly enough, these teams might end up facing each other in the quarterfinals if we get through this round. So big match here. This is going to send the Knights to quarterfinals if they win tonight. So really exciting. First team to make it this far in this type of tournament, and we'll see if they can make it any further.
Yeah, I know they performed really well last time. There was a close match and then a stomp, I recall. So hopefully maybe we learn some things. I'm sure the first matches, a lot of these it feels to me like there's always a little bit of back and forth, right? As teams feeling each other out. So I'm excited to see how they do there. I think they're getting ready to jump into draft before too long.
Yeah, so we'll be getting into draft here in just a second. Just the teams kind of getting everything ready, making sure the ping is good and everything. So yeah, we'll see if we can jump over to draft. We did have some technical difficulties with that last time, and since I didn't do anything to try to fix it,
there's always something wrong anyway.
Yes, we might just leave it on this screen. I don't want to mess with it too much. But yeah, so as you were saying, J-Moff, this squad, Willy Wonka, Yagubian, Ainsworth, Saber, and T-Bone, has a lot of potential, right? And we saw that on Monday, and we saw them really win a game 1 that was very back and forth, and have that mental fortitude to go the distance, get picks, scale up, and even though they had kind of a rough mid-game, it didn't cost them in the long run.
No. And they retained that for game 2, I think, right? And then
yeah.
They were able to take what they learned there. Completely cool as a ice cube, right? They just went right in and did their job. So I'm excited to see what they bring to the table today.
Yeah, and that's where these best of 3s, the game 1, really you just want to download your opponent. That's the goal of game 1. Win, loss, yeah, it's good. But if you can figure out your opponent, that's really where you can just win the next 1 or 2, depending on how game 1 goes. And sometimes we've seen that happen against us, right? Where we've won game 1 and then lost the next 2 because they downloaded us and they knew kind of our strategy, how we played. They knew what to ban. And so I think we're fairly confident with our lineup. We have a pretty deep pool across the board. And so I'm not too worried about us getting pinched or anything in draft, but we'll have to see how the guys perform because, there's a lot of question marks with, Honey T-Bone. Like, he's on his Nautilus now. He just picked it, and we've seen him pop off on Monday. Will he do that again? I don't know.
The Nautilus carry. Wow.
There was an absolute carry performance from him in the early game. And if this is the same squad we saw on Monday, this is a 2-0.
Oh, it should. Yeah, this will be a fantastic performance. That being said, these guys are students, right? This is like the end of semester. Things like classes are getting taxing right now, and so obviously they haven't been able to devote all of their time to league. That being said, I'm ready for these hooks. All day. Yeah,
and we're seeing some more draft come through. Yagubian's going to be on Viego, so Nautilus Viego. We saw that on Monday. Tried and true. So I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Yeah, that's how Edinboro didn't watch the stream, right? They didn't ban Viego.
Yeah, and Ainsworth getting her Ari. Huge pick for her. We saw some great charms on Monday. And really her ability to survive that pressure. We saw the mid laner on Monday really putting it to her, putting a lot of pressure in mid lane, and there wasn't much jungle help because we had other things, that had to be done. But she was able to survive, able to get some kills, and hit the charms when it matters, and that's what you got to do on Ari.
Right. That's what it's all about, going in late.
So the enemy squad looking Malphite, Rakan, Xayah is what they have locked in so far. A lot of engage, obviously Xayah, Rakan, a good duo in the bot side. But the engage factor, a lot coming out, and we'll see if, SVU also going with some engage. This might just be two rocks hitting each other, Jay.
It might just be two rocks hitting each other. But I think, on the side of Ari and I guess even Nautilus as well, right? Rakan and Malphite, they go in, but that's pretty much all they do, right?
Yeah,
you don't have any people.
If it's not perfect, it's counterable,
right?
Yeah.
So I definitely feeling good for our guys here so far in the draft.
Yeah, so we'll see what they end up finalizing with. But yeah, so I'm curious.
They can play these fights smart, right?
Well, yeah,
they're gonna know what the game plan is very straightforward for Edinboro, and I think that'll be fairly easy to dial in.
They're hiding their jungle pick, so this could be spicy here, J-Ma. If you as a jungler, Viego, what would you pick into that? Obviously you have a pool, but if let's say you could play every champion, what do you think would be good into this Viego here?
When I see a Viego, as scary as he is at all points in the game, I just want to destroy him early, and whether that's through getting a lane really ahead and then taking that lane and going into the jungle with my mid laner or something, or if it's just solo bolo adventures with Prio and I go 1v1 him. I think there's going to be some sense to try and shut him down early. Otherwise, I mean, we'll see. I don't know. Viego late game is pretty scary almost no matter what, especially if it's Michael Yagubian on that Viego. So
yeah. Yeah, so I know that Edinboro definitely likes their bot side. They were going to be favoring bot side, probably playing to it. And we'll see what the Knights can do. If the Knights opt into matching that, going for like a 3v3 or 4v4, depending on what mid lane's doing. Or if they end up playing top side, get that Herald. You have Sylas in the Malphite, good matchup for the Sylas. Obviously, he's going to build. He does magic damage. Malphite wants to build armor. He has a fantastic ult for Sylas to steal. It's a tried and true counter to Malphite. So we'll see what Willy Wonka, and Willy Wonka just with a standout performance on Monday, looking to repeat that. And I think him with this pick in this matchup, he could do just that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, sometimes they'll pop off it'll pop off anytime. Willy Wonka will pop off anytime. There's also the Caitlyn pick and bot side. So Caitlyn Nautilus down there to wrap things up. The jungler picked Wukong, Edinboro jungler. So there'll be some scrappers. Some scrappers in the jungle.
Wukong, Lissandra, going to be fairly scary for the Knights early. Viego, Ari, much harder champions to play. Much more, they got skill shots on their CC. They have, they need some levels. They kind of want 6. They're going to be squishy. So I want to see Ainswie and Yagubian play together. We saw a lot of teamwork between them on Monday, and I want to see that continue here because that's kind of a scary. Lissandra, Wukong, gank, even if it's ganking the Ari, they have a lot of pre-6 damage. But yeah, I want to see how the Knights play around it, or if they just avoid it. We've seen Ainswie absorb that kind of pressure before, and then turn it up in the mid-late game. So she could just chill mid, let Lissandra do her thing and maybe roam, but as long as she's calling out, keep Prio as best you can, she should be all right.
And not only how you do with Lissandra, but how well you can track the Wukong, right? That's going to play a big factor, as always, but, especially when, like you said, it's a particularly scary 2v2.
Yeah, so I'm liking draft so far here for the Knights. So the final lineups are going to be for the Knights. It's going to be Sylas top, Viego jungle, Ari mid, Caitlyn ADC, and Nautilus support. And for Edinboro, it's going to be Malphite top, Wukong jungle, Lissandra mid, and then Xayah Rakan in the bot lane. So definitely, I wouldn't say any team really necessarily won the draft outright. I think that this game could look like a stomp either way, right? If Edinboro gets going with the Wukong, Malphite, Rakan engage, that's scary.
And Lissandra for that sake, everyone, it's going to be awful.
And then on the side of the Knights, you got a carry top, carry jungle, carry mid, carry ADC. Yeah. And then Honey T-Bone, who's just going to carry anyway, no matter what champion he's on.
Because he can't miss a hook. Man.
Yeah, so you got a lot of carry, a lot of damage coming out from the Knights, but you got to get your items, right? These guys don't have a lot of base damage. Ari, extremely mana-hungry early. Viego, very squishy. Sylas, very squishy. And Caitlyn, obviously, going to have a lot of range, and the headshots are nice. But at the end of the day, Xayah is going to be very scary with her, root caller, pulling back her feathers, doing all that massive damage. And so we'll have to see if the Knights can get to their item spikes. I think if they can, this is their game to win. But if the early game goes in favor of Edinboro, then I think the Knights are going to have to really stall this one out. So we'll have to see how the early game goes.
And that can be a tough thing to recognize at first, right? Because even with a little bit of a lead, you still got to be really careful because of how much CC there is over
exactly
there, right? And stuff like that. So
exactly, and that's what's good about bringing these CC champions is, obviously if the Knights get a lead and they hold it. It's going to be pretty open and shut winning the game, but They have some ways to force with Nautilus, obviously, but Edinboro, if they fall too far behind, it's going to be hard. You know, Malphite ult is scary, but only if there's damage follow-up, right? And if Wukong's not ahead or Xayah looking scary, Lissandra's not, she can do okay damage. But they don't have a ton of damage on their side. So it's going to be really in the hands of the Xayah to do the majority of the damage for their team, especially in the late game. So I like the nice chances if the game goes long, but I think this early game, and especially this jungle pathing, you're going to have to walk us through it, J-Moff, these early levels, because this jungle pathing could decide a lot. And I'm excited to see what Gubian has up his sleeve to deal with this Wukong.
And, to that point, especially with some of this early pathing, do you want to get your Xayah ahead because that's where a lot of your damage is? Or are you playing, are you just hugging mid lane because that... top lane. Was it top lane? Top lane, I think the best player over on Edinboro.
No, that's their bot lane.
That's bot lane.
Yeah.
All right, so what else do you do, right? You go to feed Xayah, right? You've got to recognize that, I think, as Viego here. And, hopefully we can play around that.
Yeah, you can maybe go mid because the Lissandras has such good gank setup. I think their mid laner is good as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, you really want to play. They're probably going to be playing around that bot side. But yeah, so all right, we're getting into the game right now. Getting all settings up. We are on a slight-ish delay just for competitive integrity.
Always important. Always important. We do promote that here at SVU.
Yes, we do. All right, but we are going to be jumping in.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see how this goes. Like you said, I think while both teams are going to be looking for those, scaling and particularly team fights and stuff, the game's going to decide a lot, as always. It's a snowball game. This one in particular, so... So
here we are.
Bot. Let's see. So
here we go with the invade. The Knights are in blue. Blue health
time.
Bar is going to be the Knights. The red health bars will be Edinboro. So we will see Knights going with an invade here in the south side, looking to push up, trying to get at least some kind of advantage, maybe a flash, maybe some deep vision.
Yeah, even just a ward is plenty.
Knowing where that Wukong starts is huge for Yagubian. Whether he decides to fight him or not, you want to know if that's what's going to happen, right? Here we go. Very coming deep. Up. They're going to find the Xayah, actually. Going to miss the hook, though. Honey T-Bone unable to get the hook. Probably will be his only missed hook, though, of this game.
The more times we say that, the more times he's going to miss.
But now you're looking at Edinboro. Not sure if we're starting there blue or not. Kind of scared to go into the jungle. They didn't quite see us leave fully. So they are going to scout it out, but that's going to be the mid lane ward. So not too bad here. No deep vision for Edinboro. So even though we got the invade, we know where Wukong's starting. They have to guess.
Yeah. And to know the other mid lane ward was Pixel Bush topside. So everybody's starting topside. It looks like everybody's pathing down. Be some head button later on. So that'll be something to keep your eye out for. Wukong is leashless, though, right? So there may be a little bit of...
that could be...
He'll be a little bit slower, a little bit less health. We'll see what he decides to do, how many camps he decides to take on his way down.
Yeah, so that might give away that Wukong starting in the north side. So, that Viego is with the leash from Silas. So we'll see if they end up calculating that. Looks like possible some early cheese here. Xyla Rakan, definitely scary bot lane. Going to be a ward out early, though. That's going to be nice. So we'll see what the Knights end up doing. Who do you favor in this 1v1 if it's Viego Wukong here, J-Moff?
I think if Viego is able to hit that stun and is fully charged, it can be pretty... Even though he's a scaling champ, it can be a lot of damage and pretty scary. But Wukong, right, that attack speed on his E, even though I think it might have got nerfed, it's still... it's Wukong, right? He's designed to fight. He's a top laner by heart, right? At heart.
Tried to get they got the level 2 first. The Knights weren't able to hit the hook. We're kind of going to go in, try to get...
Everybody's whiffing today.
Yeah. Everybody's getting warmed up. And it's a lot of nerves here. This is round of 16. Going to quarterfinals. Winner here goes to quarterfinals. So a lot of pressure on these teams wanting to perform, wanting to do well in these early stages. But the best thing you can do is just not let it get in your head. Even if something goes wrong, keep playing, do your best, treat it like any other game. And we'll see if both sides are able to do that, able to find their nerve here.
We're watching this bot lane a lot, Kevin. I feel like there's a lot of parallels between these two pairs. Fairly safe ADCs, especially when Xayah has 6. I'm wondering what do you think? Where does it? Who wins? Right? What happens?
Yeah,
early gank.
And here we go. And this is what we kind of predicted here. Wukong coming down, trying to play around his bot lane. Yugubian 2 camps up here, going to opt into doing a full clear where Wukong skipped his Krugs and his Gromp. He will go back for his Gromp now. And now it's a fight for Prio, right? Mid lane Prio, bot lane Prio. Who's going to fight for the Scuttle? If Yugubian goes for the Scuttle, he's going to want his Nautilus to come up. And it looks like Nautilus is doing just that. So he might look for a double Scuttle here. Ainswie with a good trade, going to hit that Electrocute proc. Going to get the potion out there from Lissandra. So Ainswie doing well in the mid lane.
I mean, this is huge. You've pathed into the same side of the map. You're the scaling jungler, and now you've taken Scuttle, right? Double Scuttle is an option, or you just go right up there and you can fight him. Right? You're up 3 camps now, two camps up on him, and you're feeling good.
Ainswie
right?
pinging out the ward there in mid. That's like big brains mid lane. Yeah. You know, I'm a mid laner myself, and I love to see stuff like that. Tracking your mid laner's ward is huge. Yugubian can easily bypass that ward. If he wants to gank, he can stay out of vision, so they have, if they don't know where he is, that's a lot of question marks that Wukong has to just answer. They do have Prio coming to top side, so there might be a fight for this top side Scuttle. If Willy Wonka can come, look at Ainswie playing towards this side, but she's got to be careful. Wukong is here. Might have to blow her flash here. No more seed. Good charm on the E there. Gonna try to flash. She will flash. It counters the Wukong flash. What a play from Ainswie. She will go down. But that was a great flash there, getting the Wukong's flash and the Lissandra flash. So she just playing a little bit too much to the top side. Yugubian was a little bit late there getting the Scuttle. But overall, not too bad of a first blood there if you're going to be giving it up. Here comes Willy Wonka laying the beat down on Shadow Elite. He should die here, and yes, he will. So Willy Wonka showing him how counter picks go in the top lane. He's going to lose a massive wave. Probably will have to TP back up. Wukong is going to collect what he can. But Willy Wonka going to even up the score.
So I'm just looking at CS now. Obviously, mid lane, Lissandra's a little bit ahead after that kill and whatnot. But across the board, I feel like we're up just maybe a little bit. Bot lane's pretty even, down a little bit. So I don't know. This feels like almost everyone's ready to get their fingers into some kills and stuff, but we're not. No one's quite able to pinch anything off. I guess we're still burning flashes and stuff, right? It's that part of the game, but
exactly not enough damage to really get anything done. We'll have to see. Early dragon here.
Dragon.
They're tracking Wukong well. It's going to be an early dragon stack 5 minutes in. If the Knights can pull this one off, and it looks like Ainswie is there, with the Prio mid, she shouldn't even really lose anything. Willy Wonka going to be putting pressure down on the Malphite. But yeah, so that's going to be a huge early dragon, and dragon stacking, definitely a win condition. Obviously, if you can win the early game, it's a little bit scary if the enemy team, has a good early game. So I think us taking that dragon is better just as a denial, so they can't snowball the early game into a win. Yeah. So even if we don't dragon stack, I think that's a good call. Just getting that extra little 5-minute buffer there. Their first dragon won't be able to be until 11 minutes. So,
and whether or not regardless of whether or not you want to stack dragons, but it does start this early of a dragon starts a little bit of a ping pong, right? An objective ping pong, right? Because now there's not going to be able to anything to trade once Rift Herald's up. So
that's a great
everyone
point.
Should be ready to kind of just turn up, and if we got ahead at that point.
And with this topside advantage, if Silas can hit, he's 6 right now. If he can get the Malphite ult, bring up the Nautilus. Rakan going to go in good spacing there by Saber. Just sidesteps the Rakan W, cool as can be. Going to try to trade in on the Rakan a little bit. A lot of damage coming out. That's that root caller I brought up earlier. A lot of damage coming in from the Xayah. Willy Wonka going to have a lot of pressure there on the Malphite. But the Knights looking good overall. They're down and gold a little bit. Edinboro coming out strong with that first blood and with early CS leads in the mid and bot lane. But Yugubian and Willy Wonka holding strong with CS leads of their own.
Bot doing a great job this game. I think Wukong wasted a lot of time just wanting to make something happen down here. But he hasn't really found anything yet. And that's huge. That's given Yugubian up 10 CS because of all wasting all this time and stuff. So I think great job by SVU bot lane. Not necessarily like they're not super ahead at this point, but they're just surviving. They're playing very smart, right?
Yep, here comes Lissandra and Wukong. They're going to be looking for a dive here on the bot lane from SVU. Not level 6 yet. Yeah. So level 6 is for the Wukong and the Lissandra. This is playing around that bot lane that we talked about. Saber's going to try to town here, but I don't know if he's going to be able to pull it off. Yugubian's in the top side. They see it coming, but it's a little bit too late. Don't face check the bush. Had to check it. We'll possibly trade 1-for-1, yeah. So 1-for-1 trade, not too bad with all those resources being spent by Edinboro. The kill does go over to the Wukong, so he will be kind of scary, but overall, not a bad play.
All right, CP coming out mid lane.
And that's that bot lane focus.
Yeah.
J-Muff, we kind of saw that coming here from Edinboro, trying to play around their bot lane star player. And the Knights are going to have to adjust to that.
Yeah, you hate to see it, but, if they're willing to give up, I think they also play mid, right, or something like that. As long as you can see it coming. If you can avoid it, that's great, but...
Ainswie going to have to ult out here. Lysandra still has her ult. Ainswie, can she get out of this one? She shouldn't be in Q range, but can't let it hit the minions. Yes, it will hit the minions. Stack over to her. So, will die there. But Yugubian picking up the Herald. So, it's a good trade back.
Yeah, that's tough.
Willy Wonka just laying down the hurt here in the top side. Yugubian trying to invade here. The Wukong does already picked up his second red, I believe, so nothing going to be happening there. They know he's on chickens, though, the pings. Oh, his red buff actually is there, so he wasn't able to pick that up. I would be worried about this
with Lysandra, having just shoved, but I guess, she's half. We have support up there.
Wukong taking a year to get his chickens. Here he comes. So here comes the trap from SVU. Here comes the Wukong. They're going to start off with the ulti. They're going to layer the CC, not perfectly. But they thought it was the clone, but it wasn't. And they will take him down for free. So that should be the red buff here for Yugubian. And that's good pressure coming out.
Yeah, I mean, very patient, very patient.
Yep. Now they know that Nautilus is topside, so the bot lane going to try to freeze up. Caitlyn going to have a hard time shoving this in. We'll get the Q off, so they will have to tank a little bit. But they are trying to freeze bot wave best they can. Rakan with no flash, though, definitely hard to get in there.
Yeah. Which is great, right? I think Saber playing very safe and stuff.
Yep.
So.
And they're shoving out. No, he's not losing anything, so there's no reason to die here. Farm under tower. They already showed they're willing to dive bot, so the Knights have to be ready for that. I don't want to see that happening again. Yugubian still with the Herald. Ainswie in mid. Going to get CC'd up, just playing too far south. Going to get caught up, going to get CC'd to death.
And this is what you're talking about, right? Is as much as we want to, if you're Edinboro, as much as you want to take that bot lane pressure and just steamroll with it, you haven't been able to get anything, and mid lane's fairly free with as much CC as you have. So
yeah, and that's a lot of plates going over now. Yeah. So this Wukong Lysandra going to be scary. Lysandra with a decent CS lead as well. Here goes Honey T-Bone. Xayah going to have to ult early to avoid some tower shots, but Saber taking way too much damage. He's going to flash back. And here comes the flash in from Xayah. Going to get rooted up by Nautilus. Might be able to go down here. Nautilus, does he have the damage? Yes, he will. So 1-for-1 overall, but the kill for Xayah, kill for Nautilus, not ideal. Nautilus with no ult because of that invade. Lysandra coming down, looking to get involved here. Dragon is on the table. So yeah, we're really seeing this bot lane here being very aggressive from Edinboro, and the Knights are defending it fairly well, but they just have to be patient in this early game and stop feeding over kills and just wait until you get into the team fight stage of this game.
Right, that's exactly what we were talking about earlier, right? Is this team is going to eventually have trouble if they can't, start rolling over SVU. This composition.
Yeah. Here we go. Willy Wonka going in for the trade. He's going to go all in. He's going to let the Ignite walk away, fade away. Good job by Willy Wonka picking up another solo kill in the top side.
And that's another thing, as much as you're kind of, okay, we're getting a little bit of a lead here mid, a little bit of a lead here bot. Once Silas starts getting involved, he's going to be real big and scary.
Yeah, trading in on the Rakan. Knights playing around this dragon. Oh, Saber's getting all in here by Reeves. Good job backing off. Had to use the cleanse. And Knights are going to stack their second dragon. They're going to drop the Herald bot. Not the best Herald I've ever seen, but they will pick up the dragon here. So 2 dragon stack is not bad.
Yeah, if you're using the Herald for a dragon, I guess at least you're getting the dragon, right?
That's an Infernal, so I'm liking the Infernal there. I was going to be a little worried if that was a Cloud, just because
good thing you didn't say that, right?
Yeah, because with this early game comp, you run the risk of getting a soul a little too fast, and then they can get Elder. So if that soul's really not that valuable, I was going to be a little bit worrisome, but that soul definitely one you want to pick up, especially with the firepower coming out from these picks from the Knights.
Yeah.
We're seeing Wukong sit down here, get that scuttle. And I'm surprised that Edinboro's not able to get the dragons with all this priority they're putting in the bot side. So just good timing by the Knights. Being dead at the right times. You may you have an 05 mid and ADC, but those 5 have not been at crucial times. So it's some gold, but it's not a huge deal. All right, here we go with another dive. We've seen this before. It's going to be a hook in from Nautilus. It's going to be everyone jumping on Saber. They're going to try to mow him down. Can they trade it back? They will get to 2. So that's 2 kills going over, and the Knights just not able to deal with this 4-man dive. And we got to see it coming. I mean,
Yeah.
this is fairly predictable. You can just leave the tower, right?
Yeah, after the first time, right, you should have some defensive wards ready for that mid lane to rotate.
Yeah, and when those defensive wards die, you got to just back off. You got to just sack the CS, make them waste time. You got mid shoved, so you'll be making up whatever you're losing down there in mid lane. So, yeah, we do have the Gale Force coming in now for the Caitlyn, so Saber's going to be feeling pretty good with that. Willy Wonka trading aggressively. He's got to be a little bit careful under tower. That's going to be the ult coming out from the Xayah. Yagubian trying to kill her, but he will just die immediately. That's the damage of the Root Caller early game. You've got to be careful about Xayah's E early. It does a massive amount of damage.
Especially you've lined up with every single ult feather.
Yeah. So yeah, and look at the vision control here from Edinboro on the bot side. Like, we need the Knights to be going through. If we're playing towards top side, that's fine. But you got to be respecting the dive potential. If you're not going to be fighting for all this vision, you got to clean up these pink wards that are in our south jungle at some point. There's one in our tri-bush. Here we go. Lissandra won't take it. So good almost counter there from Honey T-Bone.
Yeah, you saw him thinking about it. He's almost pulled the trigger in time. But
all right, Honey T-Bone finally finding some of these wards. Cannot venture into the river without a mid laner, but there's a lot of wards still to clean up, even in his own jungle, but he doesn't know about them. Will hold the wave. All right, so we kind of have a lopsided map here. We're definitely seeing Fed members coming out jungle, mid, and bot here for Edinboro, so the Knights are going to have to be cautious dealing with this, in the mid game.
Well, and what's so weird about that, right, is that SV is the one stacking the dragons here,
yeah,
getting the objectives. Somehow getting away with it, like you said, doing a great job of that at least. But it's weird. It's weird to see that.
Yeah, very weird seeing that. And that's why I think it's good, is you're not letting the enemy's dragon stack. They have a 3,000 gold lead, but it's going to take them forever to get soul. So at this point, you can sack a couple dragons, no big deal. Wait for a fight till you really want one. Going to be Yagubian going in onto the Wukong. It's going to be his invis coming out. He's going to have to flash out. So, and that's Rakan running over there using his ult, trying to get over there. Here we go, Lissandra coming in. CC coming out from Nautilus. No ult on the Rakan. He's going to be taking a lot of damage here. Nautilus, though, can't get his R off. He's just chain CC'd or something. Here comes the reset. Rakan is a good champion to get. Does have a lot of mobility. But do they have the damage to clean this up? Yagubian going to go in on the Lissandra. He wants to get another reset. That would be huge. They can get Reeves if he can get some CC. And there it is. Reeves unable to use his cleanse or his flash. And that's the fight the Knight's been patient for. That should be able to get them this Herald. Dragon coming up in a minute as well. So that was a good fight there. Good patience coming out. And T-Bone giving his life. Didn't even use his ult or his flash or his ignite. So he still has those available for this pending dragon fight. And the Knights cleaning that one up. It was huge.
Yeah, I mean, and also living forever there and just exhausting so many resources to try and kill him on a tower.
And this is what you want to see from Ainswie as well. In the bot lane. Getting this tower down. Like, this is great. Like, yeah, you guys made the play. And look at that. We're caught up in gold. So the Knights really having a great play there. Will help get them back in.
Plus, that leaves one more tower with Herald, right? Like, as long as we can find that angle, find that the opportunity when it presents itself.
Yeah, and we're seeing the Rakan here clearing vision in the north side. Herald's already gone, right? There's no reason to have vision up there. No
Dragon's
reason to scan up there.
Right now,
you got drag coming, and the Knights might be forming for this. And this Silas, we have not seen in a team fight. Yeah, he has Rod of Ages, so he's scaling up, but still a scary boy. If he can get his hands on a Malphite ult, Wukong ult, even Rakan ult, he can do a lot of work. So we'll see what he's able to do. I think T-Bone going to try to threaten, but knows can't do much. Malphite, though, might be behind, but still only needs to press R and get a good one. So I don't know if the Knights want this fight. You're even in gold, but you got to have a good fight. There's no reason to force it if it's not there.
Like you said, Nautilus does still have everything.
Yep, so they're going to go in, find the Wukong quickly, but he's going to go into his clone. Here comes Malphite. He's flying in. Yagubian's getting chain CC'd. Silas goes in, but it's a little bit late. They do kill one. They kill two. Ainswie on the backside. Willy Wonka's going down, though. He cannot quite heal up. Saber can't get any damage in, so it's a 2v3. Saber going to back up. Ainswie on the flank did get some good damage in, but the Knights a little bit slow to pull the trigger there. Silas a little bit late on the ulti. Couldn't quite grab it and use it in time. They're still going to threaten, going to hit the charm on the Malphite. Could be a kill here. He's at one. There we go. So Saber's still fighting strong with Ainswie. They're going to fight this 2v3, and now it's a 2v2 with this dragon on the line. Third dragon for the Knights. They're going to just be patient, play it slow. Xayah, though, is going to look for her E. Trying to stack up those. Here we go. 1v1 Saber versus Reeves. Here comes Ainswie, though. Will get the ulti. So good ulti force out of there. Here comes Lissandra, but here comes Honey T-Bone. He's going around the long way.
It's a long fight, right?
Here comes the reinforcements, though, but Silas is going topside. So Silas is giving up on this fight. He needs to be here if we're going to be contesting this.
And maybe that's not the play, right? Maybe that call is like, oh, you just stall it out as long as possible. I don't know.
No, and it looks like they might just give it.
They're
giving it for free. Even with Willy Wonka going topside, they didn't see him on vision. They're kind of afraid of where he could be. And the Knights outlast Edinboro to pick up this third dragon.
Really well played by Ainswie and Saber X there to like turn that around, right? It's after Xayah is still at full health after that initial engage. Which, I mean, she's done so much damage. She killed everybody. She's got everything left. But really well played by the Knights, able to get everything out and then some.
Yeah, and this Xayah is looking scary. 6 and 2, 2 items. Caitlyn not close to matching that. So we'll see what happens here. Xayah definitely could take over a fight. But Infernal Dragon is looking juicy in 5 minutes.
Yeah, soul point. Soul point. Baron's coming up, however, in the next 40 seconds, right? So teams could be looking to get vision around up there, get control on top side. Obviously, Willy Wonka having the lead he does, that'll be looking good. Rod almost stacked up, too, and mid lane almost dead. So if Knights can get that as well, that'll make any Baron threats or just try to make them uncomfortable.
Yeah, and we actually saw the Knights with the proactive attack there on that team fight. And and you like to see it. I mean, if you're an Edinboro player, you got to be making the moves first, right?
That's the one thing your champions do, right?
Your comp goes in. So if they're going in before you can, it's not going to be looking good, especially when they locked down that Wukong, did so much damage. It was hard for him to get involved in that team fight. So it was essentially a 4v5 and still was fairly close. So still very scary comp here from Edinboro. If they can get their comp to all work together, now moving up, trying to get this Silas baited in. Willy Wonka has seen this many a times. Playing it slow, playing it safe, being patient. All right, just kind of chilling out now.
Roll, yeah. It's a close game, though. Look at the gold.
Yeah.
Barely have a lead on side of Edinboro. 1 kill difference. It's a
very, very close
big objective
game.
difference, though.
Here
on side of the
comes
Knights. Can we get the hook?
Cannot get the hook. He's going to take a lot of damage for it. Saber is going to get engaged on by Wukong. Wukong's going to screw up his ultimate. I don't even know how that's possible. But here comes Yagubian. That's a lot of damage, but can they finish off the Xayah? Yes, they will. Yagubian now has a Xayah body, but there's a Wukong, and there's a whole team here coming out, so he's not going to be able to flash out and just not rotating up. The Knights taking a fight that ends up being too many bad guys, using resources really where they don't need to. There's no reason to be going for a pick there. You just got to play safe. Let them try to make the play. There's nothing to worry about. You're just chilling till drag. So that play was not safe. They got baited and it cost them.
And that can be kind of a mind trap. You see a lot. We're going to miss the charm. But where you're feeling ahead, or you've just had a good fight, you're able to pull this dragon off. You're just feeling better than it really like you said. There's no need.
Exactly, they're losing resources bot with no one down there, so you cannot be forcing when they're losing those resources because you're just making it worth for them to lose those resources. And now Xayah can go down there clean up that farm, and what advantage we would have had is gone. Here comes Wukong.
Gank. No cigar.
Yeah, we even saw Wukong not even be able to, ult there. He only hit the second part of his ult, but it didn't really matter. And that just goes to show how many resources they really had for that fight over us. Deep Vision coming out here for Edinboro in our South Jungle. Honey T-Bone going to be trying to clear that out. 3,000 gold lead. Edinboro definitely looking for this next dragon fight. Up in 2 minutes, minute 30. Mid tower going to go down. But I want to see, if the Knights opt into the fight, which they don't have to, but if they opt into it, how they're going to play it, right?
I want to see a good, a very, very well executed game plan, or at least a game plan. I feel like we've got to have a plan for the Xayah, and that fight didn't show me that there was one.
Yeah, and I want to see, if we're going for it, commit to it. Don't do this, half the team's retreating, half is fighting, and then they realize, oh, yeah, I guess we'll fight. It's okay to show up and dance, but once you see it, be ready to fight. They're going to go down there trying to pick up Ainswie. She will back off. We'll hit Charm on Wukong, some good poke. He's going to back off with his clone. Here Comes to Lysandra, but they see everybody on vision, so shouldn't be a fight here. Everyone's grouping up really early for this one. 30 seconds still. Rakan looking at town.
After how long the last one took, might as well get started, right?
Yep. The Knights kind of waffling around, looking for an engage, possibly. Step one is get Silas an ult that he wants, probably Malphite ult. You do have to kind of get close. Not super close, but you got to be somewhat close to do that. With no vision here by the Knights, they got to be scared coming down into this.
I mean, you've got the mid lane ward, right? Like, that's where you want to walk through. I'm scared about this jump, but at least we've got a ward and fix it.
Yeah, you might as well go around south side. Yeah, see, they're making the call. They Spidey senses were tingling, and they didn't fall for it. Going around south side, good discipline there. All right, T-Bone's going to be fishing. They have a good ward up here, spotting out Wukong. They can actually go for him if they get a charm. No, she's going to opt into the Q. Could have pulled a trap there. When they don't know you're there on vision, it's such a good tool. Ooh, they're going to lock down the Rakan. No charm follow-up. Can they kill him? Here comes the engage. They're going to be womboing everyone on the Knights. The Knights need to back off. They can't quite get any damage in. They're going to go to the Zaya's down, though. And here come the resets for Yagubian. And Honey T-Bone's still alive in the front line. They can't kill all the damage here. There's too much damage for the Knights. Honey T-Bone's still alive somehow. He's unkillable. He's even getting flashed on and will not go down. And that's going to be soul here for the Knights, barring some kind of tragedy if Rakan can somehow steal it.
That's the job of these two assassins, right? Ainswie and Yagubian. All in. We're taking Zaya down right away.
You're exactly right. Ainswie and the Gubian knew the mission. Kill Zaya. I don't care what's happening to Silas. I don't care what's happening to Saber. Sorry, Saber. You're dead, but it's worth it. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
T-Bone still alive throughout that whole fight, just hammering away with the anchor. And what a great fight.
Look at the scoreboard. Saber's a fake carry at this point, right? He's just bait.
He's bait right up until he gets his third item, and then they're like, wait a second, what is this guy doing with Infernal?
They're not going to have time to save in a second because Yagubian killed all.
So great fight there from the Knights. Good synergy, good communication. They knew their jobs, they knew their roles, and they played perfectly there. So now
that's soul right up.
That's soul straight up. That's a quick soul. The Knights had a game plan. They are executing it to perfection. The question is, can they still win a fight? Can they still perform that way in the next fight? Or is there something that Edinboro could do with their engage? I still think Edinboro is on the back foot in every single fight.
Yeah.
They're letting Honey T-Bone get the hook on Rakan. That starts the fight. And then they're trying to makeshift some MacGyver engage, out of thin air when they could just be starting the fight on their terms. So
it's too late, though, right? At this point.
They're still up in gold.
How? Wait a minute. How? That's true.
They're still up in gold. They have Lysandra is scary, Zaya is scary, Wukong on 2 items. So
it's a good point. No, you make a good point. I feel like the Knights just have a plan. I think it's the right plan, and they're doing it. And I don't know what's going through the minds of Edinboro here. Maybe after that they've learned the lesson. You're right. But we'll see.
No, and that's my one scare. Is that if Edinboro can pull the trigger on their terms, do we still win the fight? Right?
Yeah. And they're playing. I feel like they're playing a lot for some of these picks and things. And as long as we don't overextend,
and here comes the Lysandra TP
like this.
The Knights are kind of in a weird spot here. Malphite looking, not taking.
No triggers pulled there. I feel like maybe that was your opportunity.
Could have been. It's hard. This is the stress of being the engaged team. Is that when you pull that trigger, you're flipping the game.
Yeah,
right. And you have Malphite, Rakan. Rakan's going to back you up. Wukong's going to back you up. Everyone's backing you up, Malphite. So when you press R, you're deciding the game. And does he have the confidence after you losing 3 fights in a row? Have they recognized why they're losing it? Because it's easy for us to sit here and recognize it, especially me as a coach. But these guys who are in the middle of a game, can they recognize why they're losing the fight? I'm not sure. Oh, they're behind them.
Shaping up for...
Oh, but Honey T-Bone with the spidey senses. What's going on over here? This looks suspicious. He's going to go in, try to back them up. It's only a one-man Malphite. Malphite couldn't kill anything. Yagubian's still on the side. And look who's in the back line. It's Willy Wonka and Yagubian. They are not going to be stopped. Saber will finally pick up a kill on the Malphite. And the Knights will slaughter the field. They'll only lose one. Ainswie will go down, but in heroic fashion. And the Knights will win that fight and probably get this Baron.
You see, this is what I know Zaya has so much survivability with her ult and stuff, but she's never going to get a chance. Not with this team. They're on her too hard, and it's over. It's just over. The fight's over. Even though they pulled the trigger there, right? As much as well positioned as SVU was there, at least Edinboro still got to pull the trigger. That's Knights looking great.
Yeah,
I'm not
Knights
trying to curse
looking
them,
great.
but I'm in it like 100%. Money's behind them. And I think this one, as long as you don't make any throws, like it's pretty much in the. You got Soul. You got
Soul. You finally got the gold
Baron.
lead.
You got
the
you
Baron.
got gold lead now. Like, you got the skills, the knowledge, making it happen. And I'm all 100% on board. Everybody resetting.
Yeah, it was definitely a botched engage there from
It was.
Edinboro.
It could have, yeah.
So they're definitely making the adjustment that they know they have to be the one to pull the trigger, but that was not the one.
And
that was not the trigger pull.
I don't know if everyone, they weren't all on the same page there either. I think a little bit out of position. Like as much as you want, like Lysandra flank, she was a little far away still, and I just think they're not ready for it. Not ready for what's coming.
All right, so the Knights with Baron, like you said, with Soul, with Baron, how risky do you want to go for the end? How strong are you?
This is the team we saw them play fairly safe, right?
They played safe, but then in game 2, they found their confidence. So I'm wondering if that game 1 on Monday was just them feeling it out. I wonder if they have the confidence here. They have the tools. You have the Silas, you have the Yagubian. Here we go, engage. And Edinboro knows it's coming, so they have to try to do something. They're going to try to engage, but Yagubian trying to figure out what he should do. He will let Saber die just because that's the theme of this game. They will pick up the Wukong body. And here we go. Yagubian's going in. He's looking for the Rakan. Can't quite get a good job there by T-Bone going in, getting that hook. He's going to CC up to Lysandra. Here comes Willy Wonka. A lot of damage coming in, but there's Zaya on the back line doing a lot. Here comes Ainswie. She's looking for the charm. Can't quite hit it. But that's going to be a botched flash. Trying to flash something. He flashes the Silasy, but he will go down. So that's Reeves, the carry here, going down for Edinboro, and the Knights are pushing with just Malphite alive.
I mean, that's like... Zaya was survived the entire fight, and it still wasn't enough. I mean,
yeah, and this could just
end here. I think.
Yeah,
Malphite TP.
It's just Malphite. He does have ulti.
I'd be impressed if he could get if they group up for him.
Willy Wonka with the big brain flash! He baits it! He baits it! How did he know that was happening? He totally mind gamed him and got the ult out from Malphite with the big whiff of Ruski. The Knights are gonna retreat because they want to play for this Elder. They know the Elder is a win condition for the enemy squad. Mm-hmm. So you gotta retreat, you gotta team up, but 30 seconds on Malphite. Elder is gonna be up before then. The Knights should be able to burst it. He has no TP, so he can't get picked off beforehand.
All right, everyone's showing up.
Yep, Elder's here.
Elder spawned already.
You could just be tuning in and you still know where the Knights are going. They're going for this Elder Dragon. They're going to try to get it and the game with it. Honey T-Bone look for a hook. Going to hook the clone. He's notorious for that. Ainswie on the flank, though, but they have a cheese set up. Ainswie not really the target they're looking for. They're stalling a lot, though. This is going to give Malphite time to get here. So it will be a straight-up 5v5 in the end. But look at these Caitlyn traps. Look at this vision control. The Knights are going to force them.
Dragon's going down very fast.
Yeah, the Knights are going to force them to come into the choke. Honey T-Bone's actually going to go try to scare him off a little bit. There we go. Here comes Edinboro. This is our only play. Run through all the traps. The Knights are splitting up, actually. The one's going north, 2 are going south. Here we go. Willy Wonka has the Rakano. Gubian's in the back line, though, melting everyone. They do have the Elder, and that's just going to make everyone have less effective HP, and this should be an end here. If the Knights can get to the base with a wave, there's a wave already in town. They have the Elder, and the Knights should be able to close this one up. Saber's going to look here. He's going to hit him, and he's going to zap him! The Dragon Zap! And that should do it. If there was any hope with the Wukong dead, the Knights will end game 1 here. So the Knights looking good. This is the best of 3, so there is still a chance. Malphite with no ult, not a threat. The Knights will end game 1 here, but definitely some chances here for Edinboro going into game 2, so we'll have to see what happens in the next one. So grab your popcorn. We'll be back in a couple minutes with game number 2.
negative.
Who dares defy my will?
Once again, a woman's left unsatisfied.
No spark between us anyway.
Shall I turn in my badge and rifle as well?
Fine. I'll just be over here, sharpening my feathers.
I do not tolerate cowardice.
Hello, Night fans, and welcome back. This is Coach Kev. I am here with J Moff.
Game number 2.
Game number 2. Draft is in the process of happening. We can't put it up on the screen, but we do have the team comp locked in. So for the Knights, it's going to be Mordekaiser, Belveth, Ari, Vayne, and Nautilus going up against Malphite, Silas, Azir, Jinx, Leona. So Edinboro gonna ban the Viego, take the Silas in the first pick, and then they're gonna pick the Malphite in the second rotation. They don't want to see that counter pick because we saw what Willy Wonka could do with that counter pick.
Yeah, that's true. There's some good value there. It's interesting. We'll see what you can do with Silas in the jungle. Has a little bit more difficulty clearing and stuff like that. But if you're real aggro early and you can kind of snowball and get a lead from some kills, that one could be interesting. The other thing, I think bot lane, a couple of big major scalers, right? Vayne, Jinx.
Yeah, Jinx. definitely scary once you get your 3 items. Vayne, scary as well for different reasons. But they both will pump out a lot of damage. But, it's kind of, it's kind of the tale of the last game as well, where it's, a lot of carries here for the Knights, 4 carries. And really, 2.5, 3 carries here for Edinboro. With the Silas Jungle, he's not gonna have as much gold as he would mid.
He does really if he has gold.
Yeah. So we'll see. But it's so much damage. Like as long as the Knights don't clump up and get AOE, CC'd by Malphite Leona, then Vayne can kill everybody, Belveth can kill everybody, Mordekaiser can kill everybody.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see what they end up doing. There are some ults here for Silas to take. It's mainly going to be like Nautilus ult, Ahri ult. Mordekaiser ult decent, but I don't even know if he can take Belveth ult.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what that would
I
do.
don't think he does anything with that. Vayne ult is pretty troll as well. So he will go invisible with his Q, which is kind of fun.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's useless, but it's funny.
Now I want to see it. Come on, Grumpy.
Yeah. Maybe he'll treat us to that. But yeah, so definitely going to be a different game, and this is my favorite thing about League. There's many phases to League. There's solo queue. That's like, whatever. Then there's team play, okay? And then there's team play in a best of series, right? And that's where you really get to see how good people are at the game, because you have to get different picks. You get to see how they play and then adapt to it. And I don't think that 5-minute dragon is going to go over the Knights this game, right? So
I hope not, right?
Yeah,
Let that happen.
Like, so if that doesn't happen, then like how did the Knights win that last game if they didn't have Infernal Soul, right? So like it's crazy. Who knows what's going to happen? That's what's the fun part. Is anything could happen. We'll have to see what they decide to do. Both sides scale up decently well. But definitely a lot more engage coming out here from Edinboro. So still have some tools for the Knights, of course.
Similar story on their side, right? They just want to go in.
They want to go in. That's their strategy. And they're going to be harassing the bot lane, right? They're going to be coming after Vayne.
They better be, right?
So Saber, he knows what he's in for.
We saw Vayne pop off last time.
We did.
He's not, he's not unexperienced in the champion.
Well, yeah, and I think he kind of knows what's coming, and he's like, if I die a couple times, I die, but at the end of the day, I'll pop off eventually and make the plays. So that's really all you can ask for and hope for, especially as an 80 carry. So.
Right, and especially if like you brought to the attention, there's this many carries. Like you don't have to be the fed one to that doesn't have to be your job necessarily. Just play the cards you're dealt sometimes.
Exactly.
It panned out very well last game. We'll see if the Knights can run it back, make it happen again.
All right, so the Knights are going to be on the red side this time. Red health bars are the SVU Knights. The blue health bars are going to be Edinboro. Going with a topside invade possibly here. Knights stacking on the top side, going to go into the blue buff.
see things coming out
on
both sides there.
Pick on poor Shadow Elite. They found the kink in the armor. Can they take him down? He's going to be in that bush. That's not where you want to be. He's going to face check this. He's going to get hooked up. Kind of a weird interaction there. Here comes Belveth. Going to run out of dashes, so he actually will live. Okay, never mind.
Not if he does that.
He's going to do that. And that's going to be first blood going over Belveth.
You want to be getting first blood too.
So, all right. Good start there from the Knights. And that's the adaptation they made. Now we're seeing the ward actually go down here from the Jinx. So that's going to be good. That's a mistake that the Edinboro made last time, is not getting that counter ward down. So they're going to know exactly where Belveth is starting. And they can play accordingly, right? So, yeah, she has an extra long sword, which is going to help with her clear speed, of course, but at least they have that vision out.
Yeah, for sure. At least. I don't know what that running away strategy was. I think it's reportable, but we'll just
it might have been like one of those mini-map clicks or something, And
sure. We'll go with that.
Well, it goes to show the nerves, right? Like, you know, and I think Shadow Flame definitely was feeling bad after last game, and he's coming in, he's trying to make adjustments, and then all of a sudden he's dealt with a 5v1 situation, and didn't want to blow his flash like immediately.
Does that mean the mental is already won for?
It's possible. It's possible. Ainswie still coming in strong, getting that lightning bolt hit, and that's what you love to see from your mid laner. Got ganked repeatedly last game, but not being shy about it this time. Going out there, getting those trades in. That's what you got to do. So we'll see what this early gank is looking like. Is Silas going to just clear down? No, it looks like he's going to go for a full clear. So he will not gank bot lane this early, which I'm surprised. I thought, that's pretty much what they did. Their game plan was last time.
Clearing is not a Silas game plan. I feel like it's not a good one.
Ooh, hook coming out. Leona's going to flash away from her teammate, and so she's going to have to get the Jinx flash as well. So Leona flashing away so Jinx could eat the hook.
I know.
So all summoners are down here.
I'm going to report all sorts of things on this match. I don't know.
So all summoners down for Edinboro. Knights only blow Ignite. They only have the one combat summoner anyway, but that's huge. Cleanse obviously scales really well. Very useful against Leona ult. So we'll have to see.
Now, it is still a little dangerous, right? Where you've just won your Knights, you just won the game, and now you're feeling good with a couple of early cheeses.
Yeah. You're not fed anymore, but
right.
I don't think Saber's having that feeling.
Saber was never fed. That was never gonna happen.
He was never fed, so he's like, well, business as usual, going back in. I got no items,
But it doesn't take everyone. It just takes one person yelling louder and calling shots. Right? So we'll see. Try and keep even some big.
Silas
big
with the
sweeps.
early back. Interesting. Guess he took too much damage in his clear and wanted that Amp Tome to fight the Belveth. But they're going to be on opposite sides, and they knew that. So there shouldn't really be a fight. Might be going to play towards Willy Wonka. They might want to get that early kill on him, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. He has a good ward.
He has a good ward, and then we saw the Mordekaiser just do things last time. I don't know.
Yeah, so they're actually going to try to contest the Silas at the Scuttleway. They're going to be a little bit too late, so he will pick that up. Ainswie looking good here in mid lane, doing well with this early push. Has Prio, trying to shove that one out. Definitely knows. We saw them go a lot for Ainswie. They went a lot for the bot lane, never ganked top. So Ainswie going to be playing, accordingly to that, knowing that knowledge. So, But Silas, he kind of...
He needed to do something by now.
Yeah, like...
Very low impact early on, and that's how you make it work, really.
And Belveth just chilling, farming.
I know, this is...
Pickaxe, longsword, vibing.
This is the worst case scenario for Silas, I think. Gonna miss those hooks.
Yeah, so nice. This is fine by the Knights. Chilling. They're chilling. There's no rush. They're not. They got no pressure on their shoulders right here.
A dragon is coming up.
This could be a possible kill. He has no flash, but Willy Wonka actually going to opt into trying to deny the farm. Could be huge. Ainswie. Oh no, here comes the Silas. She's gonna have to flash. No, her flash is late. Can she still get it off? Yes, she will. Okay, good. So still lives. Little late flash. That's okay. Wonka gonna look for the E. Will hit it. Will hit the Q. Next Q could kill. He's gonna let Malphite get that CS. So I would have liked to have seen maybe him flash on him the first time. I think that was a kill.
He was one auto away.
Yeah, but it's okay. Might have forgot he didn't have flash because of that invade. I've done that.
Yeah, that's true. That's not the kind of things you think back on.
Yeah.
It's not a normal thing.
And it will be actually coming up soon, so we might get baited.
Dragon's up, and Belveth is here.
Yeah. And so we'll see. And Prio.
Yeah, got the Prio.
So here we go. Squad's going up. Going to rinse and repeat. There's the ward at the Tribush.
If it works, it works.
I don't think this is a fight that Edinboro want. They have no mid laner. Ari can push that and roam down. Looks like she's not going to, though. So this might be a fight that they take. The Belveth's taking a lot of damage. They need Ari to swing, though. Ari not swinging quite yet. Going to be late on the rotate. They're going to see the Azir.
Sacrifice. Yeah, he's going on in.
So here we go. The Knights are going to commit to this. Going to be a long-range hook onto the Silas. Belveth zooming around. That's a lot of damage coming out. Do they have the follow-up damage? That's going to be 2 kills going over. Azir level 6 going to clean that one up as well. So the Knights slow to pull the trigger and didn't pull Ari down fast enough, and that's going to cost them. They had the tools to make that happen. They were just slow to make the decision.
Yeah, I know you're absolutely right. That's exactly what it was. And it's tough to analyze, those little things, especially if, you think, oh, Azir backed, right? It's fine. But those early dragons are trickier because of that, right? They made those dragons a little tankier a while back, things like that. So Definitely a risky play.
Yeah, and they're actually starting this, but here come the Knights.
This is also a risky play.
But Vayne is still at town waiting for an item or something.
I don't know what that's
So the Knights are probably just going to give this one up. But that Leona is 1 HP. The Knights shouldn't... They don't have to give this up, but it looks like they will.
I mean, they have mid prio again, right?
Well, that's the thing. You have to use your mid laner. You know, that's the value of mid lane, is getting to these fights early. You got to preemptively call them down. Could have done it there again. So the Knights are going to get pushed out. And that's that early drag going over to the other side. And that's what we saw being a benefit for the Knights. So we'll see if that counteracts it here for Edinboro.
Yeah, and there's some unfortunate calls there. This is this early in the game too, right? It's just more people is more power. It's, no one's really fed yet, right? It's very simple. And Knights just not playing around that, going to lose the first drag.
Yep, and sometimes, they get in a situation where it's like, oh, no, it's fine, we'll get it. But it's like, but there's no disadvantage, right, to pulling someone early, getting there, showing force at the objective so that they can't do what they did. They can't muscle you off. You're already there getting it. And if they show face, you just go, right? Azir's coming in late. You could just go on the 3 with a 4 and take it and go home. But the Knights just trying to be a little bit too greedy with their waves, trying to get that dragon a little too greedily, and it's going to cost them.
Maybe a little overconfidence there, right? We're talking about.
Yeah, 100%. All right,
that being said, game's not over.
No.
Right?
Still gold even. Just opportunity lost. We're seeing a huge CS lead up in the top side. Not surprised with how Willy Wonka played last game. He's on fire here. Going to be a powerhouse to deal with if you're Edinboro. Will the Knights try to play for that? I'm not sure. They try to get this Herald. They should be able to force that. Malphite obviously still brings the ultimate.
Bel'Veth really just wanted to farm till 6, right? You want that 6 before you get your Rift Herald, so you can get that nice, the big juicy.
Right, so they're going to find out the Silas here on the top side. So this is once again going to come down to mid prio, mid roams. Bel'Veth going to back off.
Oh, Silas
looping on the Ainsby.
Without a bird there with him.
Yep, now he's going top side, so we'll see if...
It's just waffling at this point.
Yeah, I don't think he can deal with Willy Wonka, and he's realizing that. He's going to go for Ainsby once again. She's going to ult. Good early ult.
Nice.
And that's what you want to see. Great ult there. Great ult. Got the Azir ult. So that's just an ult trade. Keeping pressure up.
And a gank absorbed. It's like 2 for 1, right? We'll take it.
Silas coming down. Going to possibly go for the scuttle. Bot side prio. Not looking good for the Knights. Leona going to try to rotate up. Gonna just give up the scuttle, no big deal.
Yeah, I mean with bot prio the way it is.
Alright, so kind of just slowing down here. The Knights not feeling confident going for the Herald, which I do think is somewhat of a mistake. Here we go, Willy Wonka gonna ult Malphite. Malphite gonna try to run to his tower, but he's out of range. Can Willy Wonka get this kill? Can he get it done? He's gonna come out of that. He could ult away, and he will at the very, very last millisecond and still die. Interesting play. Interesting play.
I mean, I don't want to say it, but that's report worthy.
And that could be some of the nerves, right?
No,
like he just...
Dude, I would be terrified laning against Willy Wonka. I'm not going to lie. No, thank you. I'll just surrender.
Yeah, this guy's just smacking you around, and then like you don't want to waste your ult because you know it's for the team, but you kind of have to, and then... You make the decision too late, right?
But don't worry. Before too long, he won't be worth anything anyways, and it won't matter.
Yeah. So
he could just die anyways.
The Knights trying to play safe. They're going to see Silas up at the top side. He's actually
going to die.
I don't think he knows what he's getting into. The Knights were waiting for that to go in on bot side. But that's a lot of CC coming out on Saber. He's very, very low. He does not have the damage to deal with this Jinx, and they will die in the 2v2. So that's going to be 2 kills going over, and just, no sums up, no flash for the Vayne. They thought they had it, but they couldn't quite get it done. A little bit too telegraphed there, and they weren't able to get the damage down on Jinx. Saber took way too much damage before the fight even happened. Ainsby going to have to ult away. We'll get the Leona ult,
Nice.
So Leona's still with ult after that. That's how bad of a 2v2 that was, bot side. And I think, that's just, a little unneeded aggression like this. This is just total unneeded aggression. The Knights are just... doing things that don't matter, right? There's no point in trying to kill somebody. There's no point in trying to go in there. Like, wait for the dragon. Wait for moments that matter. It's just needless inting. So now we have Bel'Veth mid. And especially with bot side, it might be a little frustration coming out from the bot side here from the Knights. You know, they got punished last game, and now they're just
it's a very similar paintings.
You're Vayne, right? Just farm up. You're chilling. There's no reason to force that. It's just way too aggressive in a game where the game state was fine. Top lane's winning so hard, you cannot be feeding away free kills. Dragon coming up. Silas going to recall. Will the Knights start this up? They do have a small window, but will they recognize it? Would be huge for them to get this. Don't know if they're going to be able to burst it in time or if they have the confidence to do so.
Things, Ainsley did get the deep ward, right? So they were on vision when they were backing, I think.
Okay.
It's opportunity here.
The Knights are starting it up. Silas is going to be slow. So is Azir. So it should be the Knights to take. But do they have the damage?
Is mid lane going to be here?
Yeah, they didn't have the damage last time to get it fast enough. Would be good to even that up. It's getting dangerously low, but Silas is here. He might go for the steal. No, he will not. So I think that's smart. Because if he dies there, that kind of opens up a lot here. Oh, Saber going to try to go for the 1v1. We'll get the flash out of the Jinx. So traded a flash there for the bot lanes. Here comes Belveth looking for a fight, but he does not have a lot of health. Going to try to go in. Jinx is extremely low. Saber in a 1v1 versus Leona. Here comes Honey T-Bone. Honey T-Bone trying to do it all by himself. Silas does have the Belveth ult. Don't know quite what it does. So he actually can use it there. So will be a 2-for-1 in the end. Saber does pick up that kill onto Leona, but the Knights forcing way too aggressively, I feel like, here in the bot side.
Yeah, once you get flash, you got to be kind of happy with that, right?
Yeah. So we don't want to have the solo queue mentality, and that just might be overconfidence, like you said, coming out here after that game 1 win. But game 1 was close. So Belveth, wants her items, wants to be chilling, and this is what I'm talking about. Just free kills. Pick up the farm. Get the farm. It's worth more gold. So now no one's collecting that farm. Such a waste. You're giving them gold, and the Knights are just losing out across the board.
This is how games are
Except
lost.
for Willy Wonka.
Except for Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka, the only person in this game playing well.
Which, if it's going to be anyone, Mordekaiser is not, that's not a bad one to have to carry with, but...
Leona trying to flash over onto Ainswie. Ainswie plays it smart, gets out of there. Going to use the Leona just to stop her back. Interesting.
That's cheeky. Yeah.
But this is what you're allowing by inting into them, is you're allowing Leona to go do whatever she wants, because now Jinx can just survive on her own, farm up safely. It's not just the kill, it's how much it spreads across the map, and that's what you got to be careful about. So the Knights probably going to try, hopefully they'll calm down here a little bit. Only 1,000 gold lead for the enemy. Like I said, no clear scaling advantage, I think, for either side. So it is going to be first turret, which is pretty big, but
it's that point in the game where that 1,000 gold is the difference between a finished item, a mythic, and a not having a finished item, which is, that's pretty big.
3,000 gold lead. A lot. Look at these wards coming out randomly. The Knights seem flustered. They seem flustered in this game too, not going the way they wanted.
Walk up.
Here comes. There's a kill on Nautilus. Belveth gonna have to back off. All right, so the Knights need to regroup. Saber down here, going to get poked out by the Jinx. And that's going to be Herald going over.
Yeah, Willy Wonka's scary, but not scary in 1v4, right? Not that scary. The Hex Flash coming through, going to clear some wards.
Yep. So, the Knights can chill. There's no, super pressing matter to attend to, but...
Hopefully they recognize it. They could have chilled the whole time.
Yeah.
But... We're going to get the condemn.
Yep, he's going to get hit by the Jinx W as well. He's going to get ulted up. Going to that heal. And that's that summoner spell disadvantage. The heal is just so much combat power. So Ainswie will come down and pick this one up. So that's good. And get Ainswie on the board, get her a shutdown. But that's where, you take the cleanse. It's just, it's not as effective in the 1v1s.
No.
And still getting hit by that W was not good.
That's part of, Vayne's MO, right? She got invisible, she dodge stuff.
Yeah.
Little dash.
So, Knights definitely in a hole that they weren't in last time. Here comes Willy Wonka
right
slap. And that is the big fear if you're an Edinboro fan, is the Knight in the top lane.
But
with the wings.
You just lose a tower here for it. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, extremely unfortunate, but gonna be picking up that kill on the Azir will be nice. going in here is the Leona trying to lock up Ainswie. So Ainswie will actually charm her and lock her down. So I don't know if we have the damage. Possibly Leona will flash out. So actually going to be a followed flash. Oh, and this is the aggression. Unneeded. Actually going to ult in. Here comes the condemn. So this could be a kill. It could be a bait all along. Here comes Saber. We need him to get this kill. And yes, he will. So he'll pick up one. Can he get the other? No, he'll go down. So he gives it back over. So they should have been happy with the one kill. Because Dragon is coming up in 30. Couldn't quite set it up. And this is Honey T-Bone probably going down. And he's going down late. So he's going to be barely up when Dragon spawns. So the Knights do pick up a kill there. But at what cost?
It's just messy scrapping all over the place. Like,
Yeah.
Which really turns
9 death bot lane here for the Knights. And no ganks! No ganks!
Nope.
Like, the jungler can do whatever he wants. He doesn't even have to go bot because they're just intake. So they need to find their form in bot lane because it's not looking good. Alright, top tower does go down. No other towers have really been touched here for the Knights. So definitely lopsided gold here.
Mid. Oh, you mean, yeah, Knights haven't touched any yet.
Yeah. So they're going to be starting up Dragon. Knights are 5 stacked here first. So they're going to go in hard. They're going to try to find the Silas. Yes, he's going to go into the 1v1 against Belveth, and he's actually going to annihilate her. There's the E!
Yeah.
So the early damage doesn't end up mattering. So good shutdown there. What is this situation? So here comes Willy Wonka. He's going to get locked down. He already used his flash, so he's going a little too aggressive, and he dies as well. Here comes Belveth, who's going too aggressive, and he dies. Everyone's just dying. Here goes Jinx going too aggressive, going over the pit. I don't know if we auto that, they auto that. What is happening? This is the most iron game I've ever seen. And somehow the Knights come out on top and should be able to get the Dragon. Yes, they will. Not looking good, J-Bob. It's not looking good. My eyes hurt.
If nothing else, it's a good laugh, right?
Oh my goodness! I'll laugh after we win. Then I probably won't. But okay. So that was a 4v5 that we ended up somehow dying a million times.
Yeah, that felt like we lost that.
Yeah, it did get the Dragon, which I suppose is Cloud Dragon. Who cares? It is good on Vayne though. I do like it on Vayne, but.
Will we ever get there?
Will we ever get there? I don't know.
I don't know. This game we might, actually.
This game is so... Anyway, so... Alright, let's see what the lane state is here. We got Vayne farming top side. Good thing about Vayne, she's an AD carry that loves side laning. So it does give you an advantage that, she probably can deal with the Azir in the side lane. Azir did pick up 3 kills that fight.
He's pretty big Azir.
2 or 3 kills, so... yeah, he's kind of scary now. Definitely could deal with Malphite, though. At least once he gets his items. He only has the Bork right now, so probably can't.
That's probably still. That's Malphite's has rough.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, true. Malphite is fairly far behind. Mordekaiser obviously can deal with anyone in a 1v1.
Unless you
flash over their wall and get stuck and I don't know. Sometimes these guys find the worst play and make it, and it's impressive sometimes, but not what we want to see right now. We want to see some a little bit more clean play, gameplay.
We had to told them in between games. You got to calm down. It's gonna be too much of a stomp. We got to keep it entertaining.
Yeah, exactly. Right? We want to keep, there's no entertaining in this, no entertainment value.
No one wants to see a win.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, all right, Baron's on the table. A lot of vision up there for Edinboro. Knights have defensive vision, and that's kind of the name of this game. Knights on the back foot. Mm-hmm. Mordekaiser in the bot side. Silas kind of come down, but Mordekaiser is one of those champions. Extremely hard to gank, because of his ult, and because he's fed. 2 reasons you don't want to gank him. But let's see here. I want to see the Knights formulate a good play and have a little bit more patience with what they're trying to do. Here we go. If Leona goes for this, we have a 3v2 advantage.
She wants to.
Oh, will Honey T-Bone go for it? No. The Knights actually just run away. So, obviously they can't see where everyone is like we can.
That's never stopped them before.
Yeah. I mean, the one time it would have been good, they don't do it. The other time they just jump into 5 people. So, just going to be farming up here.
Yeah, there is a Baron on the table, and,
we do have
she supports top sides, so.
Yeah, Jinx looking at her second item here fairly soon. That's going to be scary. Vayne, I'm not sure how much gold. Check real quick. Yeah, 1,400. So, yeah, Jinx pretty much has her second item. So, let's see, if Vayne can get hers before the next big brawl. This game a lot, there's a lot less dragon attention, obviously. Like 3 dragons have been picked up, no one close to Soul. So it's kind of hard for anyone to go for Baron.
Yeah.
So this one's going to be slowing down, I think.
It's a weird game. It's a very weird game, Kevin.
Yeah. Minute 30 on the drag. You can opt in, opt out. Doesn't affect it too much. The Knights might try to stack.
They're going to opt in. Right?
Yeah. I feel like if Vayne and Belveth don't have second item, though, then you just don't go for it.
Yeah, you don't want it, right?
Like, I think that's bait. Now, will they make that call?
Because in
a normal game, I'd say no. But in this game, I don't know. They might.
It's tough. It's tough. Yeah.
All right, Hook coming in from Nautilus. Going to get some poke damage down. He's going to draw some attention. Here comes the Silas looking for a pick. He's going to miss the E.
Wow.
He's going to ult Vayne. So Nautilus going to have to flash out. So got some cooldowns there, I suppose.
That's true.
Didn't use the Nautilus ult. But Nautilus Vayne going to have to reset. Still a minute left on drag. Here comes Belveth looking for something, but going to be on vision.
You just had 2 people back, though, right?
Yeah, so we can't be looking for anything major. And Malphite's going to be here this time. So this team fight could decide, this game. If there's a 5v5 here, I feel like these teams are so snowbally. If the Knights win it, they're going to be really far ahead just with the scaling aspect of Belveth and Vayne. But if Edinboro wins it, I feel like they're just going to snowball this early game. So here we go. They find kind of a pick. Going to be ulting in. Here we go. Mordekaiser going to go in. He's going to possibly ult. Yes, he'll ult the Azir. Azir's going to fly over into the Dragon Pit. So he's going to stall that one out. He still has flash as well. So good play by him. The Knight's going to back up. Here goes Ainswie, but she's out of ult charges. So she needs to be careful. So kind of a failed pick there for the Knights.
I mean, a lot of cooldowns on both sides through that, like flash.
Yeah, so Azir's going to try to TP back. The Knights are slowly doing this dragon. But they still have Malphite ult. Still have Silas can grab an ult. Knights need to be spread out for that. They're going to be forcing the dragon. They will get the dragon, but at what cost? Nautilus is going in, but here come the Knights. They're kiting back, dealing with Malphite, but then they're dealing with Honey Timo. Now it's a 4v4. They're going to charm up and kill the Mordekaiser. That's not good. Jinx is on a rampage. Jinx is going crazy. Double kill. Jinx is going to clean up this fight completely, and the Knights can't quite get it done, and that'll be a quadra possibly. Yes, a quadra kill for the Jinx, and Jinx is just going to take this game over. And that's the 2-item spike we were talking about versus the 1-item spike, for the Vayne, and the Knights just not able to deal with that. That's going to be Baron.
In addition to that, it's obviously a little bit more difficult with Leanna sitting on Jinx, but turning back onto that Malphite after he got one man ult, I think, right? And went in. I mean, you're just letting a fed Jinx do whatever she wants.
Yeah, and I think they just, like, the Mordekaiser ult was not good on the Azir. Who cares about Azir there? Like, just, when you're in a 5v1 or 3v1, let the 3v1 matter, right? Like, force him to get out, and then now we have to be looking for this Jinx, but Jinx has GA. 3 items to 1 item, right? Like, the Knights are completely on the back foot now. This game should be over. Like, Edinboro should close this one out. And push a game 3, barring major mistakes. So the Knights just completely threw this one. They got the dragon, working on a Cloud Soul, but who cares? So let's see what they're able to do. Obviously, still have to punch in the towers and get the inhibitors. Belveth finally picking up second item. Vayne still working on the Mythic. Here goes Honey T-Bone trying to get a good charm there from Ainswie. Could possibly get to GA, but can't. A little bit late there on the Honey T-Bone ult. Could not follow up on the charm. Would have been huge to get that under tower and get that GA pop. That could have saved this Baron push, but unable to execute it perfectly. So the Jinx will live and will heal back up.
And the GA Bloodthirster making her surprisingly tanky.
All right, so the Knights trying to defend this. Mordekaiser in the bot side.
Gonna back for it though, looks like.
Yep. Knights opting into defense here. Tower getting chipped away on by the cannon minion.
So if you're the Knights here, what's the overextension you're looking for?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. This is not looking good. I think there's very little chance they can win a fight here. I think you just kind of give the inhib and live the fight another day. because the engage here will just end the game. So here goes Leona, here comes Silas. They will back off. Vayne will get popped instantly. There goes Mordekaiser. He's going to drop his ult. He's going to take a ton of damage before he does so. He's still ulting Azir, who's not making any of a difference. And the Knights now are on the back foot looking to get pushed to a game 3, and this is probably GG.
Yeah, I think it was real messy. Like, the Knights should be able to recognize, hopefully, what all those things that kind of went wrong. I just felt like there was no plan.
Yeah.
For almost anything we did, and it went on for 20 minutes.
Yeah, so definitely they got to regroup, they got to refocus, because now we're going to a game 3, and this is your playoff hopes alive, right? And now you're back in a pressure situation, and will they be able to adjust to that? We'll find out. So we'll be right back with game number 3.
Your emperor shall return.
You can't cage me for long.
Think what I could offer.
Phone is a poor alternative.
Shall I turn in my badge and rifle as well?
Is that fear I smell?
Fine. Over here. Sharpening my feathers.
I want a turn.
Hello, Night fans. We are back, getting ready for game number 3.
Numero tres.
SVU versus Edinboro.
This is the time. This is a real time. For game 1 was beautiful. Like, that was artful, right?
It was. Game 1, you know, there was things there that were great. Game 2, there was nothing there.
I don't know what happened. Yeah, well, let's chop it up to some pressure, some confidence. Maybe we're tired. All three hungry. It's dinner time.
Hungry, yeah. I guess
What else could we give them? But this is a whole new game. It's a clean slate. That's the fun of the game, right? League of Legends, you start fresh every single time. This is your chance. SV, we know what they can do. We just saw them do it. Then we saw them not do it.
Yeah,
but
they're back on blue side.
Back on blue side, which is great.
So that's good.
We got Willy Wonka in top lane, right? Mordekaiser in the fight again.
Yeah, so we got the lineups here. It's Mordekaiser, Belveth, Ari, Ezreal, and Nautilus. So the only change coming out here, Ezreal instead of Vayne for the Knights. Edinboro opting not to ban the Mordekaiser, so I guess they didn't worry about it too much. They're going Malphite again. They Malphite, Jinx, Leona, and then the change up for them is they're on the Jarvan for jungle and the Lissandra for mid. So back on the Lissandra, what we saw in Game 1, Lissandra, Jarvan, very scary ganks for mid lane.
Yeah, so much gank potential, right?
So Ainswie gonna have to be careful.
If anyone can survive it, I guess it is an Ari, right? But you got to make it to 6 first, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I think that the Jarvan is the most ganky we've seen. Hopefully, Edinboro's able to take advantage of that and play around that. We haven't really seen a whole lot of early aggression from anybody yet, or from any junglers yet, anyhow. So we'll see how it happens. I guess Wukong made a little bit, but
yeah, I think this is gonna go back
to no avail. So
yeah, I think it's gonna go back to Game 1 where Jarvan and Lissandra is gonna be roaming bot.
Yep.
I mean, Ezreal's chilling. He should be able to do what he can. I think they do need to give up the tower. I think a lot of times bot lanes get baited into, the tower will save us. I mean, it's not saving you in a 4v2.
No.
Where they got 4 seconds to CC.
And tower resets and
so they just need to kind of chill, farm up. Ainswie got to watch out for those Jarvan Lissandra ganks.
Better yet, bait him out, waste his time, right?
Exactly. So Yugubian back on the Belveth. Viego got banned out. I want to see him, a little smarter with his life.
And that's all it came down to, right?
Yeah.
That was the only thing keeping him from getting fed and carrying, I think.
Got the first blood. He was chilling, farming up, but just careless with our lives.
I forgot that even happened. That was such a fun start.
Yeah. So, we want to see maybe playing towards the Wonka if he's still abusing Malphite like he was. But yeah, so this is going to be an interesting one. I think Jarvan definitely has a lot of early game presence, kind of like the Silas, with the gank potential.
More so even.
Yeah.
I think.
So he's going to be scary. I think there's going to be an early dive bot. So let's see if the Knights are ready for it. They should be. I told them about it. So I know they should know. But whether that matters or not remains to be seen.
But there's hope. Hold out hope. Maybe it's a wake-up call. Right? It's all Game 2.
That's
wake-up
true.
call.
That's true.
We'll see different nights here.
You got to not get defeated. Yeah. A loss shouldn't defeat you. It's a best-of series for a reason.
Like you said, yeah, you can drop games. That's not the end of the world.
Yeah, so...
Just don't drop the set.
Yeah, a lot of TPs coming out. All right, let's see what we do. We're jumping in right now. Just got the loading screen. But yeah, so Knights gonna be trying to pull this one out. This is their, make it or break it game for both sides. Loser of this game goes home. Winner moves on to quarterfinals. Would be the first quarterfinal appearance by the Knights. So excited to try to see them do that. Knights are going to be in blue. Edinboro back in red. So blue side has won every game so far.
That's true.
Hopefully that continues. All right, so we're seeing the adjustment here. They got a ward in the top side. Interesting ward placement.
I feel like you've been invaded the same way 3 times.
Well, they mixed it up Game 2.
Well,
yeah, Jinx just going to lane.
It's still into their blue buff, though, right?
Terrible ward. That ward is useless. Why did they put that there? Not sure. I guess to check it. But they will get the backup ward, so enemy will see it with this ward. So kind of obvious what the Knights were going to do. But no counter ward. So like we saw in Game 1, no counter ward coming out from the Jarvan.
Yeah.
He actually puts his in the tri-bush, which is a complete waste. So yeah, they should know he's topside start, solo start again. Might be a cheeky level 2 gank mid. If I was a mid laner, I'd be worried about that. Probably doesn't kill though.
But I mean, a Lost Flash,
I mean,
level 2
yeah.
can be.
I don't even know if you're gonna I don't even know if you're gonna die, even if you get hit. Like, yeah, you have to use your potion. So I don't know, something debatable. But you can sidestep the Jarvan EQ and then
That's
just
true.
walk out.
There's no ignite here.
Like, yeah, it's like. So shouldn't be too worried about it. All right, so they should know where Jarvan is playing. All right, we want to see better performance from the bot lane. Willy Wonka obviously going to do his thing. Not worried about topside too much. He should be able to do his thing. He had a good matchup here last time against the Malphite, against Shadow Elite. Want to see better performances here from everyone else. They had their game to chill out, have fun. Couldn't win it. So now it's time to focus up.
Yeah, it looks like we are going to have a full clear Bel'Veth and maybe a 5 or 4 camp on Jarvan's side.
Yeah, and this is where, you've been laning against the same person for the 3rd game in a row. This is where sometimes, you can now flip a matchup, or their tendencies, how they dodge. Things could open up a little bit more. I know if I laned against somebody for the 3rd time, it would be night and day from game
You got a
one.
real connection at that point.
Yeah, like you know exactly what they're going to do. So let's see if these guys, who has the advantage in that look. Willy Wonka level 3 to level 2 pushing in topside. So Jarvan going for the same clear he did on Wukong in game 1. Going to be ganking bot, I'm assuming. Actually going to go for the Gromp. So we'll opt in for the Gromp.
Just going to get Scuttle probably, right? And then.
Yep. So Bel'Veth doing a full clear. Trade of Scuttles. And yeah, the Knights just coming out with a chill early game. And this is kind of what we saw in game 2 even, but it was just the mid-game fights were just terrible.
Oh, yeah.
So the early game I'm not too worried about. See what Wonka can do. Actually going to just try to harass the Malphite. Going to stick around. Everybody's coming up to help with Scuttle. 3-man Scuttle take. Might actually gank mid.
It's a scary Scuttle. Like, look at that. Look at that guy.
Look at this. Look at this.
Ooh,
They
close
are...
fight.
So that means that they don't really have Bel'Veth tracked, which is good.
Yeah, I mean they know now, right?
So Ainsley, look at the positioning. Great job recognizing the Mia from bot side. Here comes the Jarvan with the Jinx and Leona returning to lane. Could be a little cheeky new angle. Might think it's a 2v2, but it's not. Kind of a weird situation. Don't want to get baited. Leona with Jarvan follow up is very, very scary. Jarvan going to cancel his back.
He wants to make it happen.
Malphite gonna have to TP back up. Wonka flashing in, can't quite get it. Does not have the damage. So Jarvan does end up backing. Willy Wonka gonna shove that in. Couldn't get the ignite down. Should be able to town and reset though. And I think it's kind of a cheeky idea here from Willy Wonka. Ooh, almost a good charm there. Gonna have to back off. Not going TP. I mean, if you can always get these free recalls, because you're just gapping the top laner, then you might as well take the summoner spell. Maybe might clutch up a 1v2. It might affect later on, but we haven't seen Edinboro go for any type of split push style or anything like that. So unless you're willing to try that style, there's you're going to be at the fight. So TP, not that big a deal. So here's the dragon. We've seen both teams trying to focus this early. Bel'Veth's going to walk right into the pit and start it up. SVU with the prio. Ainsley, though, playing towards topside, so going to have to see the rotate. We're seeing the early rotate once again from the Lissandra. So once again, they're going to be spotted out. If they can't get that mid laner involved, you cannot do the dragon.
At least, they've learned this time, right?
Yeah, they're going to try to back off. Actually, Jarvan's going to start it up. So they're just going to give the idea over. Mid lane, no mana. That's going to be free dragon here for Edinboro, and that's something you got to recognize. You want to force the enemy to make the play. Don't make a bad play and hope they're bad. You got to make a good play and hope that it's good. So that's just going to be free dragon going over, but not the end of the world. I mean, Jarvan getting early dragon kind of slows down his clear, slows down the tempo, which is what the Knights want. Jarvan is going to become useless. Bel'Veth is going to become incredibly strong if everything goes even. So kind of an extra camp for him that's
Yeah.
not that valuable, right? Like it is in the long run, but
Even his ult, like who's he gonna trap inside of a?
yeah, true.
Not Ezreal, not Ari, not Bel'Veth.
Yeah, Ainsworth just constantly on low
Values
man. I
zero.
can't find a way to town.
This is where you get your Bel'Veth to bail you out, right?
Yeah.
Or
No,
call
yeah,
him
definitely going to get all in here by Lysandra. Going to have to reset. Going to sack a wave. And with Bel'Veth towning as well, that's going to be a wasted wave.
Yeah.
So, hate to see it.
shoved up so far too, and I mean,
All right, here comes the
T-Bone
ulti.
in the air.
Level 6 to level 5. Willy Wonka looking for first blood here on the top side. Doesn't have flash. So, Shadow Elite will...
oh wow!
Oh, so close.
I think you could have kept walking, kept walking for that one. I guess Jarvan is top side. You're not sure where he's at. So.
Yeah, and he does have ult. The Malphite just got his ult during
That's true.
that.
That's
So
true.
he will survive. And that's where, Willy Wonka wishes he had his flash.
Yeah.
Wasted it earlier, couldn't get the ignite down. And it's just that lack of patience, like, you don't have to win the game quickly. You just have to win the game. Like, just be patient.
I mean, he wasn't even close to ignite range, was he? Like, on
Nah,
the
not
last
really.
one, right? So,
All right, Jarvan top side. Hovering around Malphite. So,
I mean, it's still fine. Like, Malphite's still
Yeah, it's
26, 28 now, so yes, like,
yeah.
I mean, you're chilling.
It's definitely fine. It's not as good as it could be, but that's okay. We got slow push forming down here. Bel'Veth picking up the red buff. All right, Jarvan looking top side. Looping around the Herald. Might just be looking to start this one up. Just going to be checking it out. Scuttle and south side. So both teams just kind of feeling each other out still. Just chilling.
I mean, you either team is got to be completely nervous here, right? Like,
Oh, yeah, both
this
teams-
is-
yeah.
This is deciding the deciding game. Like,
Yeah, this is like,
you're terrified, right?
yeah,
you cannot
so-
mess this up.
Yeah, Jarvan not going to be seen. He's going to be seen now. Ainsworth going to have to ult out of this one. We'll get ulted up.
Ooh, and caught out. Unfortunate.
That's one of those ones that are Ari where you have to ult flash because you don't have enough time to ult twice. You can't be greedy with your spells. You got to just ult flash ult. But not able to get it done, so that's going to be first blood going over.
It's a nice whole wave over to Bel'Veth, though.
Yep. Wave over Bel'Veth is good.
Try to look on the bright side. Gold's still pretty even. Objectives, right? One dragon taken. Okay.
Yeah, and they see Jarvan and
One-
Lysandra heading towards bot side, looking for a dive possibly. Bel'Veth could counter with the Herald take. Wonka going to be pushing in top. Yep, Bel'Veth's going to come up here, counter with Herald. I think that's good. Dragon in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Get the Herald, get a reset. Save that for a rainy day when you want some gold.
That's 6 now, finally. Yeah, and Lysandra had used, ult and stuff, right? So
Yeah.
I don't think that was ever happening. Everything's up on bot side, so...
Yeah, Willy Wonka just let him down. There's no reason to stomp his back. Let him down, get the Herald for free. So, the Knight's doing well. Gonna have to clear out this vision. Honey T-Bone's working on clearing out the vision right now. Those claws always coming out. You don't know when it's gonna be the one that she's gonna go in on. So definitely the biggest, big discrepancy mid, but also big discrepancy top. So here comes the answer, though.
Yeah.
Here comes Lysandra, Malphite, Jarvan, all coming topside, and Leona. So they cannot get... What is that Malphite ult? But Willy Wonka's going to somehow get baited by it. So he's going to have to run away. He's going to get caught up and die. He's going to actually flash. Well, no, he's not getting out. Yeah. So he's going to run. He's going to die. But that's 4 topside. And the counterplay was there from Edinboro. And that's where I'm not sure what that Malphite ult was.
Yeah. maybe.
But somehow it worked.
Yeah, it was the mind games. That one panned out.
So Jarvan will pick up the Gromps. That feels bad if you're Bel'Veth. Jarvan 2-0 has his T-Mat. Ainsworth's got to be careful here. Gonna have to flash.
Still gonna go through.
Here comes Nautilus. Gonna try to knock him up. He does have the ulti. We'll get the 2-man knockup. Should get the trade kill. That's gonna be 1 going over. That could be 2. She's stuck in the Jarvan. She's stuck in the Jarvan. So here we go. Honey T-Bone the carry is back. We saw him Monday. Can Yagubian pick this one up? No. Will just burst Yagubian down.
Wow.
So much damage coming out. And that's a lot of damage for the Lysandra. Cleaning that one up. 2 kills. And that's
gotta
gonna be
be
a scary Lysandra.
This is gonna be a rough one.
Yeah. And that's just unfortunate. So what was a good play ends up only being 2 kills for Nautilus, and who cares? Now you got a fed Jarvan, fed Lissandra on your hands, and the Knights once again on the back foot.
Yeah, I mean, it's just some like overextension things, right? Like we saw them feeling good and turn good plays into bad plays, 2 or 3 times last game. Hopefully that's does not repeat here for too much. Maybe that was a one-time thing. Let's hope, but
yeah, no, I want to see. They had the tools there. Nautilus was there. The Belveth was there. I think a little bit greedy going for the Lissandra there. Wasn't expecting the damage. But that's where
she's
you're
on Mythic, right?
Well, she wasn't.
She wasn't on
but
Mythic,
yeah. But she was close.
She was still at
You're still Belveth. You're incredibly squishy
and at a quarter health.
Yeah. So no CC coming out. So that's gonna be 2 dragons now going over. We'll see what Soul ends up being. But yeah, so the dragon stack now in the favor of Edinboro. Gold lead not a factor yet. So that's good.
But that Herald able to equalize, right?
And Mountain Dragon coming out. Okay. Wonka should be able to get top tower. Nobody for 1,000 miles. They're all coming down bot side. So we've seen this play before. Jinx Leona, though, looking to town. So they're actually going to rotate back to mid. Jarvan going up top side. Could be an invade angle, but here comes the Lissandra. So a little doop-de-doo there. Trying to lull them into a false sense of security, but not going to fall for it.
Look at this. Yeah. We learned our lesson last time.
Yeah, going to just reset. Now they can go for the Jarvan. This is actually huge. But I don't know why you would ult him. That's okay. So yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about. Is you don't want to ult when you have numbers. You want to save the ult. So
EG would have died there.
Yeah, Mordekaiser just ulting for no reason there, and that's just such a waste. Hate to see it. So just going to be a reset, no kill.
One thing that's very different this game is ADC's just having a snooze fest down there, just farming.
Yeah, now, this is a lot going over now to Jinx for free.
Yeah.
They just threatened a little bit with Lissandra. You get nothing on the other end because we couldn't execute. And, no Ezreal ult to clean up this wave or push it back, and that's all these plates going down. So, yeah, the Knights didn't die to the dive, but they also, that was one of the ones where I think they could have outplayed it. And now we're playing a little too scared, right? They're ulting to run away. They're not ulting to engage. You have Mythic, you have Essence Reaver, to them nothing, and we're too scared to fight.
Yeah, there is
too
a missing
scared to make a
Lissandra,
play.
To be fair, right? Lissandra's we don't know where she's at, so.
But this is where the Knights are just off their game. They're not having the confidence to make these plays. Ainsley gonna get attacked. That minion's gonna block the charm annoyingly. So let's see what they can do now. Definitely need. All right, pause coming out.
Pause. All right. It's a tough game, for the Knights. I don't know what it is about.
I mean, they're not down that much, but
we're the little mistakes and the little mistakes add up.
They do. And these are as these tournaments go, the good teams get weeded. The good teams get weeded out, right? The bad teams are gone, the good teams are still here, right? So all these games are going to be tough. So you got to be patient. You got to be smart. You can't be like, oh, we won game 1. These guys are going to be terrible. We're seeing Edinboro step their game up, and those little mistakes are going to be costly against these good teams. Yeah, you can't just expect to, make a bad play or make a somewhat bad play and then them not punish it. So we just got a little bit of a pause, and then there's a little delay because of the pause. So we are jumping right back in. But yeah, so gold lead, not that big a deal. It's 1,000 to 2 dragons is an issue. Mountain Dragon is going to be the soul of this game. But yeah, we're not seeing Willy Wonka with the advantage like he had. He does have the CS lead, but no kills. Just 2 kills on Honey T-Bone for the Knights. So definitely wishing they had a little bit more. Ainsley gonna live with a minuscule amount of HP.
All right, Herald coming up. Let's see the supports coming up top. Willy Wonka is actually able to impact that objective more so, right? So that lead can be utilized. Hopefully, it will be.
Yeah. Trying to defend this turret,
defending mid tower.
Yeah, and this is good rotations here coming out from Edinboro. Getting that turret. And that's the advantage we saw in the other games. We still, mid turret and bot turret were still up at the end of game 2, I believe, tier 1. So I want to see the Knights get out on the map, get these turrets down, rotate better. And yeah, second Herald is coming up in 10 seconds. Could be a fight we take. We do have Kraken on the Belveth. So you're matching Jarvan pretty much with items, which is good.
And anywhere you can fight around, your bad Mordekaiser or your ahead mode.
Yeah, you want to fight around Mordekaiser for sure.
As long as he ults appropriately.
We do have the first rotate here on the Ahri. Oh, here comes the hook coming out from Nautilus. He's going to go in. He's going to drop the ulti. Where's the backup, though? Belveth going in, trying to get something done. He's going to get stunned up. He's going to go down. So that's Belveth dead. Where's the reinforcements, though? Here comes Honey T-Bone. He's still flying in on the backline, but here comes the ult from Malphite. Ainswie will go up and pick up the kill. Here comes Mordekaiser looking to pick up the kill on Jarvan, but here comes the rest of the squad. But that's a big Mordekaiser, and that's a good charm coming out from Ainswie. Mordekaiser losing health. Does he have a shield? No, he does not. Ainswie will pick up 2 in the backside. So Ainswie will clean up 2, and that's a 4 for 4 at the end of the day.
Man, Ainswie just in and out, get all the cleanup kills. I mean, if she's not doing that, the Knights get nothing there. I don't know what.
Very close.
We weren't quite ready to capitalize on that Nautilus hook.
Yeah.
The communication, maybe, hey guys, I'm looking. Maybe that wasn't happening. I don't know.
Yeah, the rotate over was a little slow. And you're seeing, look at this vision control here from Edinboro in our South Jungle, right? Like, they have the advanced vision set up. We only have the one control ward. They're going to see everything we want to do. So let's see if the Knights can get a good position on this dragon, because it's not guaranteed with the way the wards are set up. Honey T-Bone going to find that one. It's going to push into the river. Look for you. Ideally, you want the Ahri to be with your Nautilus, right?
So Nautilus, you just got 3 kills, right?
Yeah, especially like when the Nautilus hits the Jinx or you hit the charm, like you
blow them up.
Yeah, you just blow up the Jinx. Here comes the Leona, going to hit that hook.
What? How did that hit? All right.
All right, so this is another big fight. No Malphite ult yet. Ults are coming back up, though, so...
Ezreal's still trying to shove out.
Waiting on the Mordekaiser ult, waiting on the Nautilus ult. So here come the Knights. Can they get anything done here? They are going to pick up the dragon, but here comes Leona. Could be a decent fight if the Knights can find it. Mordekaiser going in the back line. Nautilus with the stopwatch. That's a huge play. Here's a lot of AoE coming out from the Knights, but there goes Belveth is down. Belveth can't get any resets. Mordekaiser still on the backside. So is Ezreal. It's Ezreal, Mordekaiser, and Ahri. And they get the kills. A triple kill for Ainswie. She's out for blood. She's out for vengeance. And a fantastic fight. They do lose the Belveth. They lose the Nautilus, but they get an ace. So good fight there from the Knights to keep the gold even, but they still lost the dragon.
You'd love to see that out of Nautilus, right? So ready to, let's make the play happen. We're fighting on our terms. Go, right? That kind of thing. And if the stopwatch, Honey T-Bone doing such a good job there.
Stopwatch was huge.
that wasn't going to happen without that play.
And those are the tools you want, right? Hey, we're taking this fight. I have stopwatch. I'm going to go as ham as possible. So take the fight and do the best we can. So this Soul definitely eking up. Going to be an issue, but the Knights with a little bit of gold lead finally broke open mid and bot. That's going to be a little gold in their pocket. So,
and it's so hard to get on top of Ahri and Ezreal there. Right? Like they don't even try. They don't even try, and it was just too much damage.
Exactly. So definitely good engage there. Belveth took the brunt of the punishment, but Belveth, still feeling okay. Does have good farm, and has the mythic still. So. Not too bad off here for the Knights. Let's see, though, the next few fights are going to be very telling. Jarvan's going to be... The clock is ticking on Jarvan, so...
Only 1 minute left on this Herald, so both teams kind of want to try and make it happen.
Here comes the Goon Squad.
Belveth
going to swoop out of there. When everyone's complaining about Dash Champions, they decide to add Belveth. But here we go. Here comes the squad. Going to ult in onto Jarvan. Malphite's a little bit out of position. Ainswie going for the backside. Going to zone them off and then kite back in. Mordekaiser's going to pick up that kill. So this should be the Herald for the Knights. So good collapse there by the Knights. Only able to get the 1. But in the end, that's the coordination we've been wanting to see in Game 2. And they're finally showing up. So this is a good look.
Yeah, 1 and the Herald, right? So, it's fantastic.
And here comes a mid lane shove.
And what we didn't see was the over chase. We just take that objective.
Exactly.
Push them off, we kill them, we'll take it. We don't need to.
Yeah, Ainswie's starting to hurt with her Qs.
Yeah, 6 kills on
those charms are going to be detrimental. Comes Lysandra TP, but it's defensive. Can they get the second charge? Don't want to get engaged on here.
That's good value.
Yeah,
we'll take that.
Still have tools. They're looking really aggressive here. Going to hit the charm. Good charm from Ainswie. Good pull from Wonka. He's going to pull one into the death rim. Ainswie goes down to the Malphite, though. Do we have enough damage? The tower's down, but everyone's in the back line. We are all dead. It's just Ezreal and Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser at 1, and so is Honey T-Bone. He will pick up the Leona, but not the best fight, but it's okay in the long run. 2 for 3, not too bad. Do get some gold back, but starting to give some gold over to some characters that you don't really want to have gold.
Yeah, right. Remember what happened when Jinx got online last time, right? And
yeah,
that's not what we want to see happen. Baron is up. Is this okay? Okay, no, they're not looking. Just gonna back on a ward. It's nice of them. All right, minute 30 on Dragon. See a little bit of maybe a lull till then.
Yeah, and
last thing we want to see are more useless fights unless we're picking or something.
Exactly, like this is much better than game 2. I mean, it really is. We're getting gold, we're getting kills. We're not just flying in there dying. So Ainswie, she got her 2 item spikes. So does Mordekaiser. Ezreal's working on his. He's a little bit behind the Jinx, but that's okay. He'll get his soon. And then, the Knights just need to be looking for some good fights. Like Belveth also wants to get her 2 item spikes, so I'm hoping that they play a little bit patient, wait for those item spikes if possible. Dragon on the table in a minute. I don't know if they're going to be able to get those in beforehand, but if they can get a pick or something before this fight, that's just as good. Yeah. Nautilus looking. They think he's out of position, but it's a bait! And there's the charm from Ainswie. Here comes the ult from Malphite, though. That's a big ult. But it's a whole group of 5. They did not expect that. And so the jungler's down, and this should be Dragon for the Knights. They do have to wait like 30 seconds. It's kind of awkward. But there's not much that Edinboro can do to counter. So unless there's some kind of crazy fight or crazy pick, should be Dragon here. But you want to make sure you secure it because this is Soul.
I mean, that's scarring. That's after all of this, like, you never walk up to a Nautilus again. You run away from every Nautilus you ever see. Honey T-Bone finding the engages and now baiting, right, is the shark bait over here. So
yep. So Knights getting down their vision. Jarvan is up. Dragon's popping in 3s. He's going to be hustling it over here. This fight could determine a lot. Belveth starting up the Dragon. They don't know. So the Knights are just kind of zoning them.
Yeah.
Kind of calling their bluff here.
Great way to do it. Ezreal and Lissandra heading over, though, if we're able to do the Dragon in time.
Oh, can they pick off the Lissandra possibly? That's Ezreal and T-Bone going on the Lissandra. Here comes the rest of the group going on the main force. Willy Wonka's going to ult Jarvan. That's going to be the Dragon picked up. Is that all they wanted, or are they still looking for a fight? Willy Wonka backing up to his team. And so successful heist. They got the Dragon. They got out. Good job by the Knights. And this is the coordination. This is the smarts that we didn't see in Game 2. And they're finally pulling out here. The Knights are looking good.
Yeah, dude, what even happened Game 2? Like, we had a bunch of first graders sitting at the computers like,
they're trolling.
This is better.
I think Raleigh was playing.
Yeah, I don't know what was happening. But this is fantastic. We're not perfect here, but like the Knights looking very strong. Again, they got a plan. They're playing to the plan. And like there's a reason for everything they do.
Yeah. So the enemy squad might be going for a cheeky Baron. Yeah, they are.
We love
they know there's no
sneak.
Baron. They know there's no vision. So Belveth, though, going to smell this one out. Going to come over here and be like, hey, what's going on over here? So it might be a little bit too late, though. I don't know if the Knights can get here. Belveth might try for the steal, but it's just going to be suicide. So I say you just go for the fight later. Or if they can get here, go for the fight after they get the Baron. They are still low on health. They're going to try to get the engage, but they're going to get out. So the Knights do give over the Baron there. Just a little bit lazy after that Dragon. You got to push out mid. You got to get your vision out. You got to be careful about the counter.
Yeah, that's huge, right?
Yep. And that's the price you pay when you did get the Dragon. Yeah, you played that well, but getting there so early and you didn't have your waves prepped, it's just you got to go all the way back. You got to get your wave, and then you have no vision, and they can do it.
It's more the little things, right?
Exactly. So gold evened up. This one is coming down to the wire, J-Muff. I'm on the edge of my seat.
I don't know. I don't place any bets on this one. I don't know.
All right, so let's see what's happening here. They're forming up mid. Do have the 2 items on the Ezreal, so he's going to be feeling good. 2 items on Belveth, feeling good. Jarvan, not feeling so good. Just a cannon minion. He's just going to be flying in.
Still, yeah. I mean, it's
trying to lock down people who all have dashes.
It's not a great time to be a Jarvan. I don't think, but he
still has some usefulness.
He's got some damage. And
he'll do a lot of damage if he can hit his full combo. but definitely not feeling as good as Belveth should be going into this mid game. Obviously, Belveth 0 kills, but with 2 items, just kind of chilling. Game state not too bad. We have Dragon coming up in 2.5 minutes. That could be the fight the Knights need. But Edinboro really wanting to force here. 4-stack mid with the Baron. Mordekaiser going to go try to split the map topside. He does not have TP, so he's got to play it a little bit cautious.
He's going to wait in the bush, though.
Yeah, he's just kind of chilling.
People are missing, I mean, this is fine, right? Like, let the Baron run out. Let them make as little use of it as possible.
Yeah, exactly. This is just waste the Baron, wait for Dragon, get as much items and gold as you can.
26 minutes on there, 2 minutes till Dragon. I mean, no one's rushing.
Oh no, they're going for Mordekaiser though. He will see it out, so he will run. This could be the chance the Knights need if they can collapse on Lysandra or go get Vision at the Dragon.
Yeah, it could be an opportunity.
Belveth's gonna move into the jungle. The Knights have cleared out their jungle of wards, which is good. We've seen repeatedly Edinboro warding up their jungle, just giving them the upper hand in the fights. Belveth looking around, looking for Scuttle, but it could be getting caught out here.
Yeah.
Actually gonna opt into the 1v1. Look at that damage though. The Lysandra damage is insane. Belveth gonna back out of that one. Lysandra has that good initial burst, but we're seeing a different build coming out from Lysandra than we saw in game 1. Definitely a lot more damage focused, which I agree with. I think the supportive build is just not.
Yeah, they needed it.
All right, Nautilus setting up in the bush. Means we can have some vision.
All right, what's happening?
This is the fight. This is the dance before the Dragon. 40 seconds on the Dragon. Ezreal Belveth still back in our jungle, so
lingering.
Nothing's gonna happen here. Ward going over the wall.
I gotta wonder, are they
Sandra in mid, so the Knights could pressure here. Gonna be a charm coming out, but no Q. So just a charm. Mordekaiser coming over, trying to get space. The Knights going through bot side. It's going to be just a straight-up 5v5 here, J-Moff. Straight-up 5v5 with the game on the line. Playoff hopes on the line. Chance to hoist the Teemo Cup on the line.
Heads about a butt.
Here comes Jinx.
Who's going to start the Dragon? That's the other question. It's going to be the Knights.
Knights are going to start a pull over to their side. I think that's a good play. Here comes Malphite. Ezreal only going to hit 1, trying to stack up his passive. Here he goes. Malphite going in onto the Ezreal. He's kind of by himself, though. The Knights are kiting. Knights are kiting well. Here goes Nautilus going in on the backside, but he doesn't have any damage support. He's going a little bit too fast. Here come the reinforcement from the Knights. There's a lot of AoE going down. Can they get any kills, though? Here comes Ezreal. He's got to kill the Jinx, though. Jinx doing a lot of damage. Ezreal taking a huge burst from the Lysandra, and the Knights were so close to having that fight, but couldn't quite get it done. They will get the Dragon and stop the stack. But that fight was so close, just couldn't get in there. You're still seeing 3 flashes here for the Knights unused. If there was ever a fight to use it, that was it.
So difficult to get on top of that Jinx after she's gotten her first kill, right? And she just kind of started running over. The damage is insane. The damage is insane.
Yeah, and it's hard to see. I didn't quite see where Mordekaiser ulted.
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
Yeah, but that was definitely winnable fight. Knights just coming out short. Comes on T-Bone trying to defend. He's going to give up the inhib. That's fine. So the Knights do get the Dragon, but they give it over
get
kills.
Any easier from here, though, right?
Yeah, like Jinx is going to become scary. Belveth wants to get the Ginsus.
little chicken sniping from your friends there.
And Jinx is going to be on 3 items with this return. So this Jinx is going to be very scary in this next fight. Gotta find a way to lock her down, kill her. If they can kill the Jinx,
yeah,
and she's got the stopwatch too. So
got the stopwatch, she's got extra armor and blood. She got finished IE now. I mean,
yeah. So it's gonna be a game of killing the Jinx. Lysandra also doing a lot, but
we haven't really seen that priority.
Yeah,
happen, right? That's not been kind of the mindset quite the way it was with Xayah in game 1.
Exactly. So here comes the Leona. She might be a little bit out of position here. Going to be a charm follow-up. Do they have the damage, though? Here comes the ulti coming out. Really weird ulti from Nautilus there. trying to get too much out of just a pick opportunity to do some damage, that's okay. It's not a whole fight. So they weren't able to get the full pick, but without Nautilus ult, it's kind of hard to force anything. Here comes the death ball here. Leona did town, so it is a 4v5. Knights don't completely know, but they can kind of assume. Leona would know ult as well.
It's a real dangerous dance. Ari going back to mid lane. Gotta catch the... And that's the advantage you get, right?
They're going to have to give up this tower. Ari in mid lane, so this is a 4v4 up here. But there's no way to get to the Jinx, really. That's going to be a biffed Malphite ult. They're going to go for the Honey T-Bone. He will just flash out, though. So, I'm not sure if he need, like, might have just died. You know, like, I kind of like my flash on Nautilus, but that's fine either way.
Yeah.
Doesn't die, lives to fight the Baron.
We still got waves pushing in. Like, Ari's still not here. Is this...
Yep, Ari's got to deal with mid wave, but no Malphite ult, no Jarvan ult, no Leona ult just getting popped.
Wow.
So Honey T-Bone will go down instantly. So they're forcing way too hard. You know, and this is where Blue Trinket comes in. No Blue Trinket here for the Knights. Good charm there from Ainsley. Yes, so close. Will force it.
Do we have...
Actually, a flash coming out from Ezreal. So close.
Hey,
and that's just the tail of just a little bit, not enough damage again and again here for the Knights, and that's where those little things add up. You don't have an item, you're a little bit more behind in gold than you would have been, and they're losing this Baron dance.
Yeah, second Baron now over to Edinboro.
Yeah, and they're still on Soul Point. They're going to have this Baron up for Soul, so they should be able to get Prio in their lanes. They have Supers mid. The Knights got to get their vision out.
Not quite going to...
All right, we're trying to 2v1 the Lissandra, 3v1 the Lissandra. Charm's going to cancel out her E. So this should be a kill. Going over to Ainsley. I wish that one kind of went to Belvith. Belvith needs as much gold as possible, but a kill's a kill. And should be able to set up for Dragon off that kill, I would hope.
Hopefully. There's still a minute till it spawns. These teams love to dance, right? Let's see a dance start up here.
A lot of vision out here for Edinboro. All right, the Knights,
they've done a great job of that.
They really have. Always finding a way to get in our jungle and put wards down. Knights down 4,000 gold. Ezreal on 3 items now. Jinx on 4. It's going to have to get through the GA. They're going in on Nautilus. Not the best target for them, but he will probably die here. But how extended are they going to go?
So
Jinx
they can
cannot,
just keep going.
Yeah, cannot get on the Jinx. Yubian going to have to back off. He'll die as well. Could trade it back with the Leona. No, can't even get that. So that's going to be Soul. Most definitely. For 2 kills and Soul.
Again, I mean, the game's pretty much slipped through the nice fingers here.
Yeah, Lissandra's dead. Lissandra's dead, but we don't have the resources to do anything about it because we got to deal with mid. Top's pushing in. Like, our waves are just not being handled.
We have no vision to at least nothing to contest what Edinboro's set up, and then you can't make plays without vision. You know, it's very difficult.
So let's see what they can do here. Gonna give over the Soul, but Mountain Soul obviously gonna be annoying. Really gonna, like, especially with these fights being 1 health.
Yeah,
you know,
and fairly long. I feel like there's a lot of re-engaging and stuff happening, and it's just gonna add up.
Willy Wonka gonna flash out, gonna get stunned up, gonna probably go down, can't even ult. So, and that's the vision control. Like, look at the vision control here from Edinboro in our south jungle. We have nothing. We have no vision control. We cannot contest.
We have, like, the most defensive possible control wards.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Cannot get out into our jungle. Just getting choked up. Here comes Malphite coming to tank the tower.
Ended up, you know, doing his job, I guess, in the end there.
So Knights just trying to survive this push.
I don't think there really is a way to, though, right? You just go up and get in him now, or you push really hard.
All right, they're pushing really hard for this end. Could be a little overextension here from Edinboro. This could be a kill lined up. Ezreal's going to find that one. Can they find anything else?
Gonna miss the hook.
Edinboro feeling the pressure of trying to end this game. Here comes the charm coming out from Ainsley. Backing up Yagubian's going to get stunned up by the Lissandra ult. So that's 2 going down. Saber's low on health. Does survive. And that could be crucial to trying to keep this game alive. Knights very much on the back foot. 1 tower up on their Nexus.
And this Jinx still has GA, everything up. It's Afraid this is...
Yeah, they're pushing up, trying to get it done. Mordecai's are going to go in. Going to find one, going to find two. A lot of kills coming in for the Knights. Could be what they needed. Jinx still alive, though. They have to find a way to deal with her. Jinx finally going to go down.
Right,
GA is popped. Do they have enough damage to deal with her when she gets back up? Nodel's not going to have it timed right. Going to root her up. Going to get shut down by Ezreal.
I mean, that's... I don't know if that's, enough to win a nice fight, but that's a lot. That's
definitely a good fight.
Edinboro way overextending there, I think, after he bought him.
Yeah, and they're going to still have the gold lead, but definitely got a chunk done. So the Knights, 3 items on the Belveth. Should be good.
Getting some kills there, too, is always nice.
But 2 inhibs down. This is the struggle, right? Like, even if you get an ace and you can't even do anything.
Nope.
You can't even leave your base.
You're allowed to keep playing the game, right? That's your reward.
Exactly. So, Knights just tough in a tough position here.
So what yeah.
So basically, they just got to keep fighting. You got to win like 16 fights. Yeah, you got to win like 16 fights in a row in order to win this, right? You got to win one. You got to wait for your inhibs. I mean, if you wait for your inhibs, poke out into your jungle, find a fight, win it. You might be able to push for an end if you can get your waves set, but with these super waves pushing in, you're just never gonna have the wave in position to push it.
And those are like fresh inhib takes too, right? Like you have to do that 2 or 3 more times.
Yeah. So we'll see what they're able to do here. Here comes Edinboro. Naked Nexus. Not ideal. Knights can still win a fight, though. Jinx, no GA.
Yeah, if we can get on, find the angle, whatever it is, get onto that Jinx earlier, that's a lot of damage that Edinboro's not going to have for the majority of the fight.
Yeah, here they come. They're just going to try to walk it in. They're going to try to just force down the Nexus.
I can't say I blame them.
The Knights looking to push up.
Very patient.
Yep, here we go. Jarvan going to go in on the Belveth.
Wow.
Here goes the engage from both sides. Belveth's going to get exploded instantly, but they are on the backline. Jinx getting crazy low. Jinx will go down, but Lissandra will kill Nautilus. Willy Wonka still in the front line, still trying to do the damage he can. Saber doing as much as he can. Ainsley in the backline. She can't quite get the kill on Lissandra. So close. We'll get the triple kill for the Lissandra, and now it's just Saber. Saber versus the world. Can he get the kills? I don't think he can, so this will end it. The Knights fight to the very end, but unable to get the win, and that will kick them out of the Timo Cup. You hate to see it, JMoff.
A better defeat. Well played, I think.
Definitely well played. The Game 3 was definitely better than Game 2. Yeah.
It does make you sad that Game 2 was as much of a throw as it was, but
exactly.
2 of those games I feel really solid. Right, you got to be proud of the team for playing as well as they did.
Yeah, and these are the lessons that have to be learned, right? Like, you got 3 rookies on the squad. And these are the painful defeats that,
those characters
make you put in those extra hours. You makes you put in those extra solo queue games, the extra practices, because you were so close.
It cuts deep.
Yeah, it does. These are the ones that hurt, but you got to be able to, grow from it, learn from it, and know the mistakes that you made and not make them again. So, definitely good season here from this team. The match on Monday, the match here, they went out with a bang, definitely in dramatic fashion. And they're going to be itching to be back in this next year. And, that's what's hard, right? You have a whole nother, season you got to wait for. But definitely a good showing here from this squad, and I think they got a lot of potential.
Yeah, and definitely, plenty of times to be proud over the course.
100%.
Right? A lot of great stuff to reflect on, and a lot of things we learned, so...
Yeah, so, all right, that's going to wrap it up from us today. Thanks for tuning in. We will have another match for you all, possibly, I think it's going to be next week. So we will get that stream for you guys, but thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
Later.